55.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 2/4/2021, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities as defined in the official rules have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
Let's face it, football fans. 2020 was kind of like...
Ouch.
But Unibet Sportsbook is betting 2021 is going to be a bit more like... And it starts with a big game. Sign up for $20 free today, $21 on game day, and two $250 risk-free bets. Let's do 2021 better. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the winters are mild, the deals are wild. Gary Barbera knows how to sell a Jeep cheap, not one or two, but a slew.
Holy Jeep!
300 Jeep Cherokees.
Even new Grand Cherokees.
$199 down or $199 a month. And you heard me, your radio's not broken. Now, at Barbera's on the Boulevard, Jeep Cherokees, $199 down or $199 a month. I'll say it again, so you know where and when. New Jeep Cherokees.
Even new Grand Cherokees.
$199 down or $199 a month. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-279-8755. 800-279-8755. 800-279-8755.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Mike Missinelli here for Landis Block and Concrete. There is nothing like having a beautiful backyard. Think of many things you can do with it. You can sit outside on a nice little patio, have a nice glass of wine, have a few friends over to cook on your Landis Block outdoor kitchen. Turn your backyard into a personal paradise with Landis Block. They're the resource center for all outdoor living. All you need is imagination, space, and a budget. Check out the photo gallery at LandisBC.com. That's LandisBC.com for Landis Block, jaw-dropping outdoor paradises.
You might be over the pandemic, but the pandemic is far from over. It can be tough to do our part and keep wearing masks, but the science hasn't changed. Masks help slow the spread of COVID-19. The leading healthcare systems in the tri-state area join more than 2,000 hospitals nationwide to ask you to do one simple thing: mask up. Just mask up. Together we can save lives. Learn more at everymaskup.com. Everymaskup.com.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
All right, 6 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show. Wake up, everybody. The weather is coming in. What the weather is going to be is an entirely other issue that we've got going on today. Hopefully you will prepare yourself well, hang out with the John Kincade Show all morning, and stay with 97.5 The Fanatic all day long. Our hourly sponsor is our friends at Bradford White Water Heaters. If you need hot water, and on days like this, you certainly do, Bradford White is here for the pro. As we get started today, Nick Sirianni has gotten a little cheat code on how I believe he can quickly turn around the Eagles' offense. Right? I mean, we've seen recently how important it is to win with offense. The old mantra that was always said in the days of my youth was defense wins championships. Well, in the NFL, that is completely outdated. The top offenses we talked about yesterday on the show clearly ruled the day. But how do they do it? Here's a little cheat code for you. This year's postseason gives you a clue. Russell Baxter was doing some numbers yesterday on Twitter, and I love Russell. If you don't know, Bax football guru, great guy. The team that has had more rushing attempts is 10-2 in this year's NFL postseason. The team that has had more rushing attempts in the postseason the last 10 years has a winning percentage of .724. It's ridiculous. It's like if you know you're going to run the football and you have the threat of it, you actually can win. The team with more rushing yards this year is 9-3, 75% winning percentage. Last 10 years, more rushing yards, 69%. Jamie just perked up. What this tells us is the importance of balance. And it's a concept that the Doug Peterson administration ignored completely. Losing balance,
69%.
ignoring the run, and doing everything else. Sirianni's got a lot on his plate. But the desire for balance should be absolutely at the top of his menu. And that's where we begin this Tuesday edition of the John Kincade Show with birthday boy Bob Cooney, Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan, and the coach, Eric Camille, is where we begin. So first off, happy birthday, Robert.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Does anyone call you Robert?
No.
No one calls him Robert.
No, not even growing up in grammar school. You know, Catholic grammar school, never got the Robert.
You never got Robert?
No.
Wow.
And you don't know this about Bob, but I'll fill you in. He loves, you know how some people love having their birthday celebrated? Bob is very much that person.
He just loves it.
It's look at me, I'm the birthday boy.
He wants more of the birthday.
Yes, he loves it. So the more attention we can give him today, the better.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that was Bob Cooney.
Yeah, me neither.
I never
The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
There he goes.
It's an excuse for some Tuesday wine, am I right?
There you go.
Do you need an excuse?
Having the time of his life.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think beers with Bob might actually have beers with it tonight. We'll
yeah,
see.
there could be. Beers
Yeah.
with Bob on your birthday?
Yeah, right? And then dinner after.
Okay, wait a minute. You mean to tell me they didn't offer to have somebody come in and do beers with Bob for your birthday?
Well, the guy that could offer is sitting about 10 feet away from us, so he still has 12 hours.
So on your birthday,
if he wants to tell me to take the night and let Andrew do it by himself, I'm all for
you're
it.
doing beers with Bob.
On my birthday.
On your birthday.
And then people coming over to celebrate. Well, I shouldn't say people. Our two of our best friends are coming over to socially distance, have dinner with us, which will be at like 7:30, 7:45.
Egan, does management here like it when they're called out publicly?
They love it.
Oh,
they
do?
love it.
Okay.
They love it as much as Bob loves his birthday.
That's a bad job on Coach. It's a bad error on Coach's part. I'm putting it on Coach.
I'm just
It's a
saying.
bad
I'm just
error on
putting
his
it out
part.
there in the universe, you know.
It's a bad error on his part.
It's bad.
It is.
I
It's
don't
very
look
bad.
for anything. Yeah.
Okay, let's look at what Nick Sirianni's looking at. How about that? A decade of football. You have the more rushing attempts, you win roughly 73% of the time. Now, people will say, oh, well, when you have the lead, you run the ball and burn the clock. I think it's more than that, though. I think the complete abandonment of the run game at times by Doug Peterson was absolutely coaching malpractice.
Well, it's funny. You know what, John? When you're bringing this up, it kind of goes to me what we talked about yesterday in identity. Like, what was their identity? Was the run setting up the pass setting up the run? You know, what were you leaning on more so to set something else up? And his pass-happy offense never lent to me that it was setting up the run because it seemed so predictable. You knew when he was going to run, so setting it up with the pass never really came into play with me.
When he had Ajayi and he had be able to use LeGarrette Blount, it was a different rushing attack. We never saw anything of that sort otherwise, Jamie.
No, and a guy I pounded my chest for last year was A.J. Dillon, who you saw from the Packers this weekend. I thought he would have been a really nice compliment to Miles Sanders to get that, thunder lightning kind of combo going. But you're right, like we forget how critical LeGarrette Blount was to that Super Bowl run. And I mean, we watch this team every weekend. We all saw how good they were at play action. And this year, when I say balanced, it's like 60-40 is the new balance. It's not 50-50. Maybe,
You know what Bill Belichick's era as Patriots coach, you know what their numbers are?
53-47?
Like 54-46.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, he had the GOAT.
Yes.
He didn't have Carson Wentz struggling to throw little 5-yard patterns.
And that was the insane thing was they never gave the offense the opportunity to set up their own play action. by neglecting the running game. It was an ultimate head scratcher, and I just couldn't get my head around it.
Egan, tell me, when I wasn't here in this town, how was this being allowed to happen? I'm going to hold you personally responsible.
Most people would.
You mean to tell me that people weren't calling this out, or was Doug bulletproof?
Doug was bulletproof because
he
they won a Super Bowl. I mean, we were in a kind of a honeymoon phase for a lot of it. I mean, even after the year after they won, it was talk of, okay, well, they're still Super Bowl champs. 2 years after they won, hey, 2 years ago I got a championship. And then the third year he got fired.
And I'm talking like Billy Big Balls, but Bob, I absolutely fell into the honeymoon phase with Doug Peterson too. So I would have probably overlooked things at least the year after.
Yeah,
at least the year after.
But it was funny, John, and you weren't here for this one, and it probably I know you heard about it. But week 2 of the season that they won the Super Bowl, he didn't give the ball to LeGarrette Blount on a play that counted. He did not hand the ball off to him once. And this city went in an uproar to where people
roll the blunt.
Roll the blunt. They had signs down at the Nova. Roll the blunt.
Was that the Chiefs' loss?
Yes. Yeah, second game of the season.
Where, by the way, they had chances to win that game.
Oh, they absolutely did.
Numerous chances.
He did not give the ball to his lead running back once. And it took for a fan base to have an uproar, and us here on the station, everybody in an uproar, like, what are you doing? Don't become pass happy Andy. And I thought he listened, right?
Yeah, he did. The next week, I believe they came out with a pretty balanced attack and won and got back on track, and it spurned the winning streak. It's not like advanced knowledge football to know that a running game helps your passing game.
So do you think Nick Sirianni,
I would hope,
embodies this?
Yes.
I'll tell you this. I love the fact of the amount, like the short passing game. See, I love it because if I'm going to have a defense that is going to be reworked, I want them to be on the field as least amount of time as possible.
And I'll tell you what, it lends to, oh my gosh, here's something else the Eagles need. Because if we were making a list of things that they needed this offseason, running back,
I want a backup.
I know, but it's kind of the...
I want a veteran.
Yes.
It's kind of the... Yeah, okay, well, hold on. We'll get that. Just hold on. We have more important priorities. Well, Sirianni's a short-passing guy and likes to run the ball. You cannot put all of that on Miles Sanders. You need a good backup. And it's funny, you mentioned Dillon, and I remember you mentioning him last year before the draft, James. He would have been a nice second-round pick.
Yeah.
I see as I'm not drafting another running back.
But you took Jalen.
Well, I just drafted Miles Sanders.
Running backs are the easiest thing to replace.
I'm asking Miles Sanders to be more of an impact player considering where they drafted him.
Yeah, well,
I don't consider him to be an impact player.
You're 2 years away from having to possibly pay him, and if he makes like another Pro Bowl, it might get out of your comfort zone. So I always believe in just taking a running back every 2 or 3 years and just keep churning them out.
I want a veteran. I want a veteran not off the scrap heap, Pat, but I want a veteron running back.
There's nothing wrong with getting a guy off the scrap heap.
I'm not talking about scrap heap, because scrap heap sort of sounds like you're talking about
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
I mean, getting Jordan Howard for a 5th-round pick, signing LeGarrette Blount late in free agency, a guy like that, there's nothing wrong with that, but you cannot go into another season with Boston Scott as your backup running back.
I still don't know why Jordan Howard, it was just like, yeah, he's got to go. Like, he gave you some productive runs in games. I don't know why they gave up on him so easily.
He looked shot. I mean, last year he got released by the Dolphins, and when he came here,
I'm sorry, last year, yeah. But he looked decent with the Eagles the year before. Especially up in Green Bay, running good hard runs. I don't know if he would have just gone by the wayside had they kept him another year.
That Green Bay game was one that I do remember. I mean, that was one that I'll always remember.
That was where Lane Johnson was looking at the sidelines going, let's run the ball, run. I got the guy you're thinking of. They're not going to be able to afford him most likely, but a guy like Mark Ingram.
Oh, yeah, sure.
If he's going to be a free agent, he is a free agent. That would be perfect.
I will say it, too, is that I have no idea whether it's people are going to try to blame it on Doug. I have no idea why Miles Sanders is not more than advertised. Because he is not. I don't think he's lived up to.
I don't think he gets the ball enough.
It goes directly to Staley.
I think there were times that they did not believe in him either. They didn't trust him with the ball in critical situations.
He had fumbling issues last year.
They didn't trust him. And it's really not that big a fumbling issue. When you look at the real numbers, you broke them down.
It's 6, I think.
I think it's 6. But that's 4. That's 3 too many.
2 or 3 came in like big spots.
Right. And they didn't trust him.
They were in a critical game last year. I'll never forget this. A critical game against Dallas last year, and they opened up the second half, and he wasn't on the football field.
Yep.
They had Boston Scott in the backfield to open up a series in the second half. I don't understand.
And who was that? Oh,
exactly.
That's Deuce. That was Deuce.
We
Deuce
question
Staley.
that a lot.
The Deuce Staley thing. It's unbelievable. That story is seriously the first thing in coming back home, the first story that's just wearing me out.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. He got hired, and he's
oh my gosh,
good for him.
And what did he get hired as?
Did he have an exact title? Running back coach?
Same exact. No, same title.
Yeah, it was running back
coach,
and assistant coach. Which, by the way, like, what does that mean?
It's allowed to pay you more.
Yeah,
it's pay you more.
There's no added responsibility, right?
No, there can be, but it's to pay you more. And so it's a lateral move. He made a lateral move. So the opportunity was there. In the linchpin, wow, it seems like Jamie's a little, waxing poetic about what he's losing.
This is the linchpin.
You sound like a scorned lover with this one.
I miss old Tony Romo. I miss the good Tony Romo.
Tell me when the good one was.
His first year, he was different in his predicting what was coming. You kind of felt like he was bringing you into the quarterback room. And
his gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But it was new. It was different. It was refreshing.
Yeah.
I felt like I was learning something. I felt like I was listening to a former quarterback kind of explain the game as he was watching it. And then that seemed to be taken away from him. I don't know. He's become like corny dad joke guy now. He was wearing way too tight of pants on Sunday. There was a little
don't say it. Please.
Moose knuckle going on. Like,
what in the world?
He used to be really good, and I feel like some restraints have been put on him, and he's gotten away from what made him good, and I want to say he sucks now.
How about the amount of money they paid him?
Yeah.
The new contract they paid him? My theory, he's not working as hard.
Maybe you're right. Maybe he's golfing too much.
He's went from an 8-foot pool, which probably like the Coonies can afford, big pools and and stuff that my family can't. But the you could have an 8-foot pool. He's now gone to the 3-foot pool. He's gone to the above ground pool because he's not putting the work in.
Yeah, okay, that's a good theory.
I don't think he's putting the work in.
I wonder also if some of the teams, because you know this, Jamie, especially when you have your production meetings with the announcers,
they stop telling them.
If they were like, Tone, like, we'd appreciate it if you weren't telling everybody in the country what we're thinking on the third play of the game. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they are giving him less and less information.
It is certainly possible.
It seems like he's gotten to the shallow pool of information, but I find Tony to be a good, and I like him. I very much like him.
He's not dislikable, but he's.
But I'm very unimpressed. I'm very unimpressed because I thought it was all a shtick.
Yeah, I never liked it. I thought it was like Chris Berman when he would when he would preempt the picks in the draft. I found it annoying. With that said, I always had a theory that the farther he got out of football, the less he would be able to correctly predict plays. And lately, when he was doing it, he was getting it wrong a lot. And I don't know, Bob, that's a great point that you brought up about maybe they're giving him less information. I think he might be checking himself going, it's a bad look if I keep saying they're gonna do a run play here and it's a play action, or they're gonna pass the ball in a slant here and it's a run play. It's just a bad look.
Yeah, there's ways to present it, right? Okay, so his first year or two, I liked it, and I don't really.
Well, it's hard not to like Tony and anybody who's dealt. I know if you guys have had him on before and everything. Great dude.
Yeah, and it's hard not to appreciate someone that says, "Now watch, the linebacker's going to curl over here, and this is going to," and then you watch and you say, "Oh, smoke, that happened."
Yeah, it was cool.
Like that was cool.
Sure.
The presentation of it sometimes maybe, if he maybe would have been on there and said, "You know what could happen here is either this, but this might happen," maybe. Other teams or whoever who might have said, hey, dial it down. Maybe they would have been cooler with it. I don't know what the deal is. But
you've noticed it too, right?
Well, because he's become that non-listen to me. You remember how I tell you, I watch a game, I really don't hear announcers. I heard Tony Romo the first couple years, and I really liked it. Now I kind of don't really hear him.
Where are you, Jamie, when you present this? Where are you on Troy? Are you an Aikman Buck? Or are you
I thought I was becoming Nance Romo. But now I have to reshuffle again.
So you like Frazier and Niles? You like you like watching Frazier and
They're
Niles?
Probably my number one right now.
Really? I mean, I find Troy's work much more real.
Yes.
Than Tony's.
I agree.
And I believe that Troy explains the game. Everyone says Romo explains the game so well and everything. I think Troy explains it with less wonkiness.
Yeah.
More conversationally.
Yes, very conversationally.
Yeah, I like them the best. I really like Troy and Buck. Tony just and I know I'm in the minority. I never liked him. I never liked him in the booth. And it's nothing to do with him being a cowboy, because I would get that a lot on Twitter.
No, I don't
You don't
care
like him
about
because he was a cow. It's nothing to do with that.
I owned him.
I do think he added value. I just personally, it wasn't my taste.
See, I like Nance because of the fact that Jim Nance is a play-by-play man.
Love Jim Nance.
Who doesn't feel like he has to do color analysis like Joe Buck does.
I got to start listening for that. You said it last week, and I have to start listening for that.
We can watch a game, and I'll notate times because I'm a dork. I will notate times where he does the analysis. And I'm like, shut up.
How about that?
Like, just do the play-by-play.
I almost don't want to listen for it because it'll be that one thing that you hear and it bothers you.
And it's just as the idea is, I don't like play-by-play guys who... Like the guy, there's one famous guy who I'm not going to call out and everything, who just, first down, what a great catch by the tight end.
Oh, Gus is great.
We're an minute and a half into the game, and he's screaming about a first down while you're still in your own territory, because that's the shtick. I'm going to scream, and I'm going, what a great, what is this? Like, come on, dude. Seriously.
I'll tell you what, and this is way out of the box, but I'm watching some
You're allowed to be out of the box.
I'm watching college basketball this weekend, the LaSalle game in particular.
Yeah.
John Giannini, who coached at LaSalle, and he's getting a little bit of a career going in analysis on TV, is phenomenal on television.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that because he's a friend and I know him. I'm really not. I texted him. I'm like, dude.
No name dropper?
Name dropper.
Oh, stop it.
Jesus, man, relax. It's 6:20 in the morning.
He coached at LaSalle. That's not exactly name dropping.
Name dropper.
But somebody to listen for. Like this, seriously. Like, I think he's gotten, I've talked to some national people. He may be climbing a ladder a little bit here. Yeah.
By the way,
he's really good.
By the way, the hour and a half that I spent watching my alma mater, who I'm repping today.
Yes, you are.
University, in honor of Dean Boardman. Happy birthday to Dean Boardman from Klein College of Media, which is fantastic. I would say the hour and a half that I spent Saturday watching my Temple Owls on national television
against Houston
was
Noon
an
start.
hour and a half that I will never get back. I can't tell you how disappointed I am with the product. I can't tell you.
He's turning it around.
Houston plays really good defense.
Houston's spectacular.
Yeah. And
now, is Kelvin still paying people?
They're all still paying
Are
people.
they still paying people?
Everyone's still paying
Really?
people.
Well, then we need to start paying more then, if that's the case.
Aaron's got to get his thumbprint on this program totally, and it's
he started
not
to.
easy right now.
He got a lot of transfers in, and he's starting to get his identity.
Okay. Then I really want. I just want. I want more. I want more than.
Yeah, you'd like a tournament.
There you go.
Run.
Well, no, even
to make the tournament.
I'd like to just be in the conversation. We've become.
It's coming.
Very disappointing.
Yeah,
I do think it's coming too.
Yeah.
I agree with Egan.
If you're driving less, you could be saving more on car insurance. Save money with pay-per-mile insurance from Allstate. Call a local Allstate agent today and get yourself a quote. The Tony Romo thing is interesting, though, because, like, Bob is totally unmoved by broadcasters.
Yeah.
I am totally distracted by them.
I'm kind of in the middle.
I get distracted by them.
I never get distracted, but I found myself maybe old man yelling at clouds later in life.
Like, are you a Doc Emmerich guy?
Love Doc.
Love Doc.
Doc is...
He might be the nicest guy in sports.
Wonderful people, wonderful broadcast.
Huge Pittsburgh Pirate fan.
Huge.
Huge.
Are you a Merrill fan? Or you're not? Merrill is one of those hometown voices. Merrill's a hometown voice. To me, he's comfort food.
Yeah.
Merrill is comfort food. Merrill means no, not for you there.
I respectfully just.
So you're going more for X's and O's. You want a play-by-play man that does more rah-rah, more.
He's comfort food.
He's comfort food.
Yeah.
I said there are broadcasters that are comfort food.
Yeah.
That are just so comfortable, you feel like you're home.
Yeah.
You feel like you're home.
I mean, sometimes on a 3-yard run, I don't want to hear it second
and 3. By the way, Tom McCarthy's getting major play now.
He is. How about that?
He's good at football.
T-Mac is getting... The other day, he had the second game of the doubleheader.
Basketball.
On CBS. He had the middle game, the Baylor game.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's T-Mac's on the television.
He's pretty good.
I'm telling you this, but he's getting major play now.
Yeah.
He's really good. You're right, James. I forget. Some years ago, I think an Elite Eight was here. I know Notre Dame was playing, whatever. And I was covering something, and I felt a hand from behind, and I turned around. It was T-Mac. And I said, I am so glad you're doing. He's like, yeah, I'm starting to get some more national stuff.
Is it bad to say, because I don't mean this in any way, like as a rip, I think I actually like him on football and basketball better.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way.
Like, I like him better on football and basketball.
I think a lot of people agree with you. I think he gets a lot of flack in this city, though, for his baseball because he took over for Aaron.
Correct. It's a no-win.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that follows the guy.
I got to say, if you're an announcer, baseball's got to be the hardest.
It's the hardest.
Without question. So he stretches legs in football and basketball, and he's really good.
All right, we got a lot coming up for you on Bob's birthday, and anyone who joins us on the phones at 610-632-0975 must preface their call with Happy Birthday, Bob, or you will be hung up on immediately. But we'd love to have you join in the conversation if you wish. We would love to have you. We'll have a lot today on the idea that there might be a pacifier for the new Eagles coach, and we'll get to that coming up. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I love the home teams. I love the home team sports betting. I love Parx Casino. And with the big game coming up, let's say you want to get into some of the nonsense of the big game. On the Parx Casino Sportsbook app, you got all the parlays and the props and the teasers. And when it comes to the big game, how about betting on a coin toss? How about betting on length of the national anthem? How about betting on all those things that are great party talk? Because let's be honest, we're all going to have our stomachs turned a little bit by watching Tom Brady in the big game. So why don't you let Parx Casino bring the fun of the big game to you? Download the app or go to parxcasino.com/PA. Use the promo code FANATIC, and you get a risk-free bet up to $500. And betting with the home team gives you more comfort. I know where to find Parx Casino, so if I got an issue, I can just drive there. How about your sportsbook? Yeah, I check it out. Get the right sportsbook app. It's the Parx Casino Sportsbook app. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania. And gambling problem, I want you to call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
Oh, geez, look at the butt on that. Yeah, he must work out.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
New Year's resolutions. We all make them. We all break them. That's why your small business needs more than resolutions. It needs solutions. And you can get them with Comcast Business. Whether you want to work more efficiently with fast, reliable internet and advanced Wi-Fi, make your business safer with powerful cybersecurity solutions, or stay productive with 24/7 support. We've got the solutions you need for your business to get there. So make this year's resolution better solutions. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Get a powerful and reliable internet solution from Comcast Business starting at $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, get free installation when you order online. And for a limited time, ask how to upgrade to get a $500 prepaid card. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Prepaid card offer ends 2/7/21. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business Internet and One Voice Mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free. Call 1-800-478-4616. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-478-4616. Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-478-4616. 1-800-478-4616.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck.
So you order the essentials, a power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a Preferred Rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck edition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more-rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Sam's new project needs a project manager right away if she's going to manage to hit her deadline.
It took an extra week to get approvals, but they still want the original delivery date. I guess we'll figure something out.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change to do. We can get you everything you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter for just $26.99. Plus a $5 bonus reward if you're an AutoZone Rewards member. Not a member? We can sign you up fast right here in store or on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Progressive Motorcycle presents Road Wisdom from the Motor. To find your balance, keep riding. And if you stop, put your feet down so you don't fall. Progressive Motorcycle also presents Roadside Assistance. Progressive Motorcycle, for those who were born to ride. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Happy Hour and Bob Cooney on a Tuesday night. Check out Beers with Bob. This and every Tuesday night at 6.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Bob Cooney and Andrew Salchunas go around the world of sports, bringing you updates and breaking news, plus all the betting lines you need. It's Beers with Bob on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
For the big game, there's one thing everyone can agree on. Fresh, soft pretzels. Go to PhillyPretzelFactory.com now and order your pretzel tray. You can't forget the pretzels, and there's bound to be a Philly Pretzel Factory near you. Go to PhillyPretzelFactory.com to find your location. Score the extra point with your choice of dips, from cheese to chocolate to super hot mustard. You and your pretzel tray will be the real MVP of the game. Philly Pretzel Factory, where better gets made.
When back pain has you down, when even the idea of stairs seems impossible, when your joints are keeping you from doing what you love, you need the world-class experts at Rothman Orthopedics. You need the Rothman approach to orthopedics, here to get you back to moving freely, living fully, so you can get back to being you. So for more than 50 years, my friends at Rothman Orthopedics have combined evidence-based medicine and the latest minimally invasive techniques to redefine what's possible in orthopedics. Learn more today at RothmanOrtho.com.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
It's spelled Kincade, Kincade. Just so you know when you're writing your complaint emails.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
It's Bob's birthday. It's Tuesday, January 26th. This is the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic with Bob Cooney, Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan, and the coach Eric Camille. And we're just fully embracing Bob in the bosom of love today. Just giving him the love.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Giving him
bosom
the
of love.
Well, you love bosoms, and so we just want to give you some love. We're just trying to make sure you're a happy man today. Happy man today. God, it's unbelievable. You can watch on Twitch.tv, on YouTube, and you can always listen on the 97.5 The Fanatic mobile app. And so many of you have gotten into that habit, and we appreciate that. And at 97.5thefanatic.com, so you can be able to leave us in a background, shrink the window, and pretend you're doing work. Your boss will never know. And we will greatly appreciate it the more time you spend with the radio station during the course of the day. In Cooney's Corner coming up, we've got a pacifier. A pacifier. I'm going to tell you why that is. Sounds like it's not a rave, so we're not doing anything like that. But Pat Egan, we talked about it yesterday. Now, I'm not sure how much anyone was paying attention in our post-show meeting. The idea of...
I just didn't know we named it.
The idea of...
I blacked out. What happened?
The idea of extreme home makeover for Nick Sirianni coming into the building. He's got to redo this Eagles roster. And I want to know, is it an extreme home makeover? Just the roster. We're not talking about Howie. We're talking about the 53-man roster. Is this a teardown? A touch-up? Is it a retooling? What do you say to Nick Sirianni?
It's
He's
an
listening.
extreme makeover.
Ooh.
It's an extreme makeover. Now, the good news is they have, in my opinion, they have a quarterback. They also have a quarterback mess that needs to get addressed immediately. Because you have a quarterback, but you have a soft quarterback who mentally is probably a little fragile, doesn't like competition, and had a breaking point when they drafted Jalen Hurts. So you need to figure that out immediately. They have an offensive line. They need offensive line depth in a bad way. They have a running back. They need running back depth in a bad way. They have wide receivers at the wrong position. So they have, for example, they have a slot wide receiver in Greg Ward. They don't have an outside wide receiver. Time will tell on Jalen Reagor, but I'm not confident in it. They need another big play wide receiver. They need an actual guy who can create separation, get down the field, a guy who we pound our chest about in this city. That's what they need. They have a huge question mark at tight end in Dallas Goedert because you figure they're not going to bring Zach Ertz back, which leads them to you need more depth. You need depth at the tight end position. Defensive line is expensive and old, but that's your best spot right there. You're good. Don't really need to address it. Linebackers, they have nothing. They are devoid of talent at the linebacker position. They have Alex Singleton who looked good, but how much can you really count on Alex Singleton? They need a playmaker there. Their secondary, they have one player. One, and it's Darius Slay. Other than that, they need a whole overhaul of their secondary. And special teams, your kicker's too expensive to get rid of, unfortunately. But hey, you're great at long snapper and punter.
That sounded snarky. So you say extreme home makeover.
Yeah, it's extreme. I don't think it's a total rebuild because you have a quarterback, but it's pretty close to a whole makeover.
Gentlemen, you will have your opportunities later, as I will. Anything stand out there that you disagree with on Pat's makeover?
Bring it.
Well, I can't say because then that'll dip into what I have to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and I'm not being snarky at all. He makes a lot of good points. How about that? Egan makes a lot of great points.
I'm not going to I don't want to battle them on I think they actually have some offensive line depth, and I know that sounds crazy.
All right,
Hear me out for 1 second.
Go ahead, coward.
For how many games? 4?
Hear me out 1
5
second.
games?
Nate Herbig showed some promise. Jack Driscoll, before his knee injury, showed a little. I'm just talking about as a backup player, not as a starter. And then you have Andre Dillard, who right now is a backup. Like he would have to earn his job. So you have a 2-year ago first-round pick as a potential backup.
Fog the mirror. Give us some. I mean, I don't want to.
We're just talking backup here.
I don't want to jump.
Yeah.
You know what we're saying?
So that's the only thing I would.
We're saying a lot of guys that they expected more out of are good enough to be backups. That sucks.
Well,
that sucks.
With Dillard, yeah.
I'm not. We'll get into it because Jamie's going to have his say.
Jamie,
it's hard to comment on Egan stuff when we have our own.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Jamie, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. And at no point in your rambling did you make a coherent response.
They don't get.
You're not very nice. You're not being nice.
They don't get that reference.
You guys make your Happy Days references that we don't get. We make our Billy Madison references.
That's how we bond.
I say that's very, very good. All right, let's roll on over to Cooney's Corner, whereas there is a pacifier that the Eagles may have for their new head coach.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Happy birthday.
So, John, you know this. Jamie, you know this. Egan, if you go into something, a new endeavor, okay, you're taking over something, whether it's sports-related or not, okay, and you're asked to run this. You're asked to be the head of it. You're asked to make sure that it gets better. The first thing you do is you put your hands together, you rub them, and you say, let me see what I have, right? Let me see what I have.
Yes.
So, my question is,
I would rub one off.
My statement is, what you have is what you feel good about and what you feel comfortable growing with. That's your pacifier. Okay, this is good. Like a young quarterback, a tight end is his pacifier. You know, he can just throw those little 8-yard passes, and that's great. What is Nick Sirianni's pacifier with this team? What is it that he comes in and looks at and says, okay, this is good. I can do this. I have to fix this, and this. But what is the one thing that maybe you can present to him if you're Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, whoever it may be, and say, well, this is good. This is the thing you can lean on. This is your pacifier. And then all the other stuff we have to work on. Because I can't find one.
I can. The second most passing attempts within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I can't find one.
Mine's similar to that because they go hand in hand, is the release time. When the 3 years he was with the Colts, they were top 5 in the league in getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand.
That's what he did. Can he? I'm saying he comes here and says that's something I can do.
That should help Carson Wentz with a Dallas Goedert, a Miles Sanders, a Jalen Reagor, and potentially a Jamar Chase. Like these are all guys you can hit quick hitters
Is Miles going to catch balls?
Well, if they're not down at his ankles or on his back hip.
He does have hand problems, though. He's not a great catcher out of the backfield.
Yeah, when his quarterback's putting it down at his ankles. Look, I'm not saying he's great, but a lot of those balls this year were trash.
Hit bad balls.
Wow.
But when you saw Jalen Hurts' first 2 games when he looked really good, he was hitting Sanders in stride where he was supposed to be hit, and there was no problem.
You know what I've learned about, though? Is it the Penn State thing?
I'm not a Penn State guy.
There are a ton of excuses made for Miles Sanders.
Carson Wentz can't throw a swing. He couldn't throw a swing pass into the ocean last year.
It's certainly not his strength, but there are a lot of excuses made for Miles Sanders.
I think it's when you have a situation of a team that doesn't have a lot of talent. You're looking at one guy who you go, all right, he has talent. You're looking for him to take the next step, so you do make excuses for him.
I am looking for him.
Yeah, I agree. And I hear what you guys are saying about getting rid of the ball quickly, and that's a Sirianni sign. Is that something that he comes here and says, we're capable of doing that? Because now, take it further. Now you're talking about, you have receivers that can beat their guys off the line of scrimmage easily? Because I haven't seen that.
He's going to hopefully script that.
Yes, so what I'm saying, so he's relying more on himself. What I'm saying is he's not coming here noticing, this is a plus. I can build on that.
Well, when you have a healthy Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson, I know, but your screen game changes.
All right, so listen to what we're talking about. So he doesn't have a pacifier.
He doesn't have it.
It's getting the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands quickly in under 2.5 seconds. That's what it has to be.
You're a man of great faith. You're counting on guys to, he's going to come back, and that's an answer. That's an answer.
I mean, those are 2 of the best guys in the NFL at the screen game when they're healthy. So,
but you got to the when part.
I believe they'll be healthy.
Why? Why do you?
Because they've had a full year of rehab.
Why do you believe, though,
Johnny?
Because they're not done.
You know why? Because Jamie Lynch here is Billy Mumfrey from Seinfeld. He's a cockeyed optimist, and I love him.
I can't.
I expect them to play 16 games next year. Until proven otherwise, I'm going to believe that they're playing 16 games.
Wow.
You've been proven otherwise like 3 of the last 4 years.
It's not now they're older.
I believe. Older. Get them to Germany. Get that good HGH cycle going. Let's go.
I don't think that.
I think Lane will be fine. Him, I have confidence.
Lane will bust his ass to try to be to be that guy.
But that's Achilles, really.
But we forget about how great their screen game can be when they have a competent offensive line. So that's something that he can lean on. I think.
We'll see.
You're very optimistic.
Yeah, so you played right in and I hear you.
You know the last time he played 16 games?
I think they can do.
You know the last time he played 16 games?
Lane?
6 years ago.
Okay. I mean, but, some of those are 14 and 15, right?
Yeah, there were a couple of 15s. He missed a quarter of a season once.
If he plays 14, I consider it a success.
He played 6 one year, played 7 another year, played 12 another year, and you're thinking he's playing 16.
I'll take 15.
He hasn't played 16 since 15. Since 2015.
Let's get him to Germany.
I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I want to believe because guess what? Lane Johnson, when he's healthy, gives you every reason to believe.
Lane Johnson is to the Eagles what Joel Embiid is to the Sixers.
Yeah, kind of.
You need him to be successful.
Like, seriously, they win a hell of a lot more when he's in the game than they do.
When he's successful, when he's in there, you're successful.
Yes.
And when he doesn't, when he's not there.
But Brandon Brooks, I mean, game started 16, 16, 16, 14, 14, 15, 15 in his career.
But now he's just 2 Achilles.
I hear you.
And he's taken 2 years off. It's like pretty much.
So less miles on the tires, you know?
I don't know about that. When you're talking about the broken Achilles, the torn Achilles, I think that's a problem. 610-632-0975. Martin Law brings you that update. The law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. I am fascinated because honestly, I thought the most optimistic person on the show was going to be you, the one who would find more silver linings. Silver linings is Jamie. Jamie, you got a Wayback Machine. You don't age doesn't matter to you, it seems like.
I don't see 31 because they're both 31, I believe. I don't see that as too old.
After the tread on the tire, after these injuries?
Yeah, I still see that as competent. I see 3-4 more years out of those two.
In Jamie's defense, Jason Peters twice did an Achilles also within the span of like a year.
Andrew Whitworth is
back
40 and one of the best tackles in the league still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I am.
No, it just seems very optimistic. That's it. But that's cool.
He's right.
It's
his ankle's going to have a whole year of rest and rehab, and hopefully it got restructured.
I know this. I know he's gonna work his ass off.
Oh, absolutely.
I know he will.
Yeah.
But
Jason Peters made 4 Pro Bowls after 31, and he made an All-Pro team.
He did. And then he held up the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a big Jason Peters guy, but he was still playing at a high level.
That's never going to... I don't think he's played at a high level in 3 years.
All right, so 3 years ago, he was 35, 36, I think.
I don't even know the Super Bowl year he was having a Jason Peters year when he got replaced.
I think it was a stability thing. Like, he wasn't spectacular. He was just stable.
Right, he was stable.
Which is a far cry of what he was.
I'd say you got to go back to 2016. When Jason Peters was Jason
And that
Peters.
was the last time he made a Pro Bowl.
And they kept re-upping him.
Yeah.
And kept being... And then this year, they were willing to be held hostage by him.
Oh, they'll re-up him again.
Which I will... I'm telling you, I will... As much as I love what Jason Peters' career was here, I will never forget that moment.
Yeah.
I will never forget that when he had the chance to have hand over the franchise, he exercised it.
Yeah.
At the end of his career... After years of being beaten up.
But let me put you in Jason Peters' shoes. Wouldn't you flex on the team?
We're gonna talk about contracts and stuff like that. No, and I wouldn't flex on my teammates.
I feel like people say that, and then it's different if you're in the shoes.
I can promise you this: every contract I have ever signed, I've honored. Every contract I've ever signed, I've honored. And we get into this discussion later on.
Johnny 2 times.
There it is. Is that that is the truth? Is that there's something about your name is supposed to mean something?
Yeah, Mr. Cush, Mr. Cushlash.
Your word's supposed to mean something.
What happened to your word being stronger than oak?
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. Pat Egan.
Hello.
Do you have FU money? You haven't won the contest here.
No, I wish, and I try too. Every single time at 8:00, and
yeah. How do you enter though? Do you enter under an alias?
No personal question.
Because everybody else gets
Jack
to enter.
Egan.
Just listen.
Yeah,
they get to listen.
There's going to be a 2-year-old that wins, hopefully.
I asked my brother if
wish.
he's been entering the other day, and he goes, "You're my brother. I can't enter." And I'm like, "Oh."
Oh, is that right? Family members can't enter?
Yeah, they can't win. They can't win. We'd be fixing the contest. We're fixing the contest.
Yeah, but my whole thing is you want to have FU money to tell people FU. Right?
Yes.
At some point, you get so much money in your life where you can finally tell people what you really think of them. And athletes are of that ilk. Pro athletes have that money and that stability where they can tell people what they really think of them. They rarely do. So your boy Shaq had a very awkward interaction with Donovan Mitchell the other day, and here's how it sounded.
You are one of my favorite players, but you don't have what it takes to get to the next level. I said it on purpose. I wanted you to hear it. What do you have to say about that?
All right. That's it.
That's it?
All right, that's it.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I wanted you to hear it.
I've been hearing, I've been hearing that since my rookie year. You know, I'm just going to get better and do what I do.
Good.
At the end of the day.
Well, that's what I wanted you to hear you say.
Yes,
Love
sir.
your game, brother. Keep it up.
Appreciate it.
It's kind of awkward, right? I mean, it's
Very
like
awkward.
Yeah, and I
Awkward,
love,
but it's funny what athletes hear. Because he started and he ended it with compliments. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
He said,
Yeah, I
I love
disagree
your
too.
game, but I think you're missing something,
You're missing something to take it to the
psychologically
next
to
level.
take you to the next level.
By the way,
and then at the end, he said, I love watching you play. You're great.
Did he say, but you're missing something? I
Yeah.
thought he said you don't have it.
No, he said, I love your game, but you're missing something.
You're missing something to take you to the next level.
Which is psychological to me.
And by the way, I believe it.
I don't doubt it either.
I believe it, but I think Shaq's delivery was poor.
Presentation is horrible.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
I thought it was poor delivery.
Yeah,
Sure.
To me, it came off kind of like a bully. Like, what do you say to that? And we're not face to face, but I want you to hear
I
it
don't
from
think
me.
Shaq's worried about being
Yeah, no,
face-to-face.
I don't think he is either. I really don't. But my whole
But
point
nobody
is it just
says
is a bad
that.
look.
I think that show's so unique in that they do things. It comes off as trolling and the old heads of the NBA not liking this new generation. It's not that. It's they say things that no other show would say.
Yes, because they have G14 classification.
Yeah.
Because as Shaq always said,
Yes.
they have
and
the classification because guess what? Those guys can say it.
And that's what.
And if anybody's sensitive about it, well, that's very much a shame.
Well, and that's what makes that show great, right?
Yes.
But a lot of people took notice of that awkward interview, and somebody photoshopped a picture on Instagram of Donovan Mitchell dunking over Shaq, Miami Heat Shaq, by the way, not Laker Shaq. And Shaq DM'd the person and said, quote, "Shut your dumb ass up." And of course, he starts getting a little heat on, social media for taking this stance, if you will, and DMing the guy. I love it. I love when athletes clap back because these guys deal with so much hate in their mentions constantly and so much crap from jagaloons like myself who are sitting on the couch that Shaq goes, you know what? No, I'm not taking this. Dude, shut up.
The only thing is, though, is the idea is that I'm always a believer is why give the person clamoring for your attention negatively?
Wait, you did that last week.
And I muted him.
You did that to a weather person.
Oh, no. Who? John was not.
I wasn't going to say his
I'm
name.
just saying John. John was not. He wasn't speaking to me.
All right.
He was speaking on our industry.
Yeah.
And I say, shut the hell up.
He was looking for attention.
And I'll
You
say,
gave it to him.
shut up to the industry and give him the thing. I would do. It says I don't do like the people blocking. I don't understand blocking people.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
mute,
if it's
you can mute people.
Yeah, you can mute people.
You can
yeah.
mute people. You don't have to see them.
I'm an all-star at muting.
You have to see him. One guy last week was trying to do that thing. It's like, I'm gonna poke you. I'm gonna poke you. I'm gonna poke you. Okay, I'm gonna poke the mute button, and then I never have to see you again. So you've defeated the purpose where we had a chance to interact.
Poke you.
He's
a face poke the bear.
On
poke
Twitter.
the bear.
He's
Okay.
gonna
Have either of you ever been pulled?
That's a Jamie issue. That is a Jamie
quickly,
issue.
Jamie. Jesus.
That is interesting, though, is that the idea of do you give the attention? Because that's what they're looking for.
I try to read into it. Like, are you looking to troll? Then no. If you have an honest question, even if it's kind of bashing me, then yeah, I'll give you I'll give you the time of day. But like we had somebody tweeted at me this morning that said you wanted Embiid and Simmons traded or something like that, and I was like, dude, I never ever ever said that I wanted the two of them.
No,
traded.
it's Jamie and Egan who wanted Simmons traded. We know that in the history of the show.
James Harden appealed the hell out of me.
I never once
in the
said.
history.
Excuse me. Never once said it.
Excuse me.
You're upset.
BS.com.
Yes.
You absolutely, the day that the Harden trade could come down, when it possibly could come down, you and Jamie were on the side of deal Simmons, get Harden.
No.
You were.
No, I actually, and I will get the tape.
I don't pay
said,
attention to Egan, so.
I said, and I think a lot of people don't, Bob. I was anti-trading Ben Simmons. Anti-trading Ben Simmons. We will get the tape from that.
Oh.
That is false.
I don't believe. Jamie, you remember it that way?
No.
I don't remember it that way. Bob, you remember it that way?
Honest to God, I don't.
Okay,
I know Jamie
when
was for it. I don't remember.
Okay, Pat didn't see the eye wink because it's too far. Yes, Pat.
Well, I can't see over the console.
Pat, I was trolling.
Let's get him a booster
I was
seat.
trolling you.
Oh, dude, you can't say that.
And you reacted.
Come on.
You reacted. I drew you off sides.
Why would you do that?
Because I was drawing you
I
off
thought we
sides.
were boys.
Egan's so easy to draw off sides.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? That was I used to have to pay the buck when I would get drawn off sides. So in this we don't have the money jar yet in here. So
We don't have money.
FU money. You can have some $500 of it coming up at 8:00. We'll give you the keyword coming up this morning at 8:00. And by the way, we have avoided a troublesome topic that we're going to very closely. You got 10 seconds on last night's Sixers game, Bob.
Yeah, I understand the frustration. I was there too. But it didn't. I was more of it's a game in January, John, in all honesty, but I understand the frustration.
Jamie?
When Joel Embiid doesn't play for this team, I have little desire to watch them play.
Because nobody else willing to. I feel I'm starting to feel.
Yeah, like I know that sounds harsh, and I'm going to watch. I say it knowing I'm going to be watching every game.
And listen on the Fanatic.
Yeah, and whoa! But no, it's a tough product.
Yeah, I think to add on to what Jamie said, I agree with him, and I think the team kind of checks out a little bit too.
Last night, by the way, Doc checked out late in the game last night on his roster, and I completely applaud it. I
get what he was doing. Sprint of a season.
I completely applaud. No, he just said flat out, "You guys aren't showing up.
Right?
You guys aren't." Well, here it is.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, we got a lot coming up for you in the show. We hope that you're going to stick around, celebrate Bob's birthday with us. Now, the question is, whose job is it to fix Carson Wentz? And I hope it's this guy's job. That starts the 7 o'clock hour. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, you can celebrate the 55th edition of the big game with exclusive 55-1 odds on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. If you've never tried FanDuel before, new users can bet on either team and get 55-1 odds when Tampa Bay and Kansas City play next Sunday. That's right. You can bet $5 and win $275 if you pick the winner of the big game on February 7th. Now, what do? Do you go with the best quarterback in the game now? Or the best quarterback in the game of all time? That's the choice that you have to make. You know, I've been betting football on FanDuel all season long. I love it. Not just the teams. As I keep telling you, you can go to those two great quarterbacks. You can get an over-under on Tom Brady. You can get an over-under on Patrick Mahomes. There's so much fun to be had. The app is so easy to use. They have the fastest withdrawals, live betting, odds boosts, and specials. My favorite feature, the same-game parlays, where you can get massive payout. There's no better time than now. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use promo code Bob to get started. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Bob. Must be 21 or older and present in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. New users only. Must wager on designated boost market. Deposit required. Max bonus $275. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show. Wow, getting drunk in the morning on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-279-8755. 800-279-8755. 800-279-8755.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-285-4954. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-285-4954. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-285-4954. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-285-4954. 800-285-4954.
Hindsight is 20/20, and 2020 was a brutal year that for most of it felt out of control. But you know how you can be in control? You can be in control of your job, Your career, yes. In 2020, My Computer Career helped more people start IT careers than ever. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Take control. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Fact. Filing your taxes with TaxAct can feel like a cash explosion. That's because TaxAct helps you get your maximum refund guaranteed. And TaxAct costs 30% less than the big guys, which means more of this. So if you want a cash explosion of your own, switch to TaxAct. File for less and get more. Start for free at TaxAct.com. 30% less claim based on comparison of TurboTax and H&R Block federal pricing for deluxe and premier consumer online products on December 4th, 2020. Restrictions apply. See TaxAct.com for complete details.
Frank's Red Hot is the perfect blend of flavor and heat. That's why you can use an entire bottle to make buffalo chicken dip. The kind you might make for when you're watching the game at home. And maybe this year there's less people around to watch the game with. Yay! But that just means there's more dip, and it's all for you. Some of you may say, that's too much dip. But deep down in your heart of hearts, you know it isn't. So go ahead. Finish it. Frank's Red Hot don't judge. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next. And bounce forward. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Does it feel like finding clothes in your fit is impossible? Tired of feeling overwhelmed with options that just aren't right? Let the experts at Stitch Fix do the shopping for you. At Stitch Fix, we make sure each piece is hand-selected for your life. So whether you're staying home or on the go, Stitch Fix has the answer for what to wear. We make it easy to find what works for you. Signing up takes just a few minutes, and styles are delivered directly to your door. Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, your style delivered.
Let's face it, football fans, 2020 was kind of like...
Ouch.
But Unibet Sportsbook is betting 2021 is going to be a bit more like... And it starts with the big game. Sign up for $20 free today, $21 on game day, and two $250 risk-free bets. Let's do 2021 better. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the winters are mild, the deals are wild. Gary Barbera knows how to sell a Jeep cheap. $199 down or $199 a month. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Hey, it's John Kincade from my friends at T-Mobile. I'm so glad to welcome them into the 97.5 The Fanatic family and to be able to sing their praises because I have been a legitimate customer as long as T-Mobile's existed. Why? I don't have to hop around from company to company to get the best rates and the best service because I've already got it. But during COVID, it's been amazing to me. First of all, I've been learning to cook, so I've had to use my T-Mobile device in the kitchen. And with T-Mobile and Sprint merging, I've got their best network ever right here in Philadelphia. They've added 1 million square miles nationwide of expanded LTE coverage. So they got more towers, more engineers, and more coverage than ever before. I love my T-Mobile devices, and you will too. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com to learn more today. So please give T-Mobile a chance to win your business. I can tell you this, they won mine a long time ago, and I've never left. Why? Because when you get the best service at the best prices, it's the best network. Check out my friends at T-Mobile and tell them that John Kincade from 97.5 The Fanatic sent you. Visit T-Mobile.com to learn more today. And a reminder, coverage is not available in some areas.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Sorry, this is your life right now. Listening to me on the radio.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
7 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show is brought to you by my friends at Parks Casino and that spectacular Parks Casino Sportsbook app. Have you downloaded it yet? Go to parkscasino.com/PA and use the promo code FANATIC and get that risk-free bet up to $500 to get things started. Shane Steichen. I heard different pronunciations last night on the news locally about Shane Steichen. He's the new offensive coordinator for your Philadelphia Eagles. And he's the guy who now comes in from the Chargers, and he's gotten a lot of mixed reviews out of L.A. I think it's hard to judge a guy with a rookie quarterback that's learning on the job and a very shaky offensive line. But the fan base certainly wasn't very happy. Anthony Lynn was, I take it, considered extremely conservative offensively by the fan base with the Chargers. So maybe Shane was handcuffed in how aggressive an offense he really wanted to have, and we'll find that out here. But I wonder if he's coming into another situation with handcuffs here, being the OC with the Philadelphia Eagles, and those being a pair of ones that are on the back of Carson Wentz's jersey. Because I'm wondering now, whose job is it to fix Carson Wentz? Is Steichen going to be calling the plays? I need answers. I also am hoping that there will be a team approach to fixing this offense, because I think that's the best move overall. But one of them is taking on the responsibility. Is it Sirianni or is it our new offensive coordinator that takes on the responsibility of getting under the hood and fixing Carson Wentz? I don't know which one it is, but I wish them immense luck. And that's where we begin the 7 o'clock hour on Bob Cooney's birthday here on the John Kincade Show with Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan, and the coach, Eric Camille. Whose responsibility is it, Jamie, is your guess? Your guess.
I don't know if you're going to like my answer, but it's Carson Wentz's. Like, the smoke with him is for the last 3 years is he's been stubborn. He hasn't taken to coaching, being coached strictly or hardly, however you want to say it, since John DeFilippo was here, and he's kind of been left to his own accord, and I think he's become his own worst enemy. So,
but one of them has to have that job description.
One of them has to be the hard-assed and say, and they can't be his friend in that room anymore. They have to say, Carson, if you want to save your career, you got to stop the puppy dogs and ice cream crap, and you're going to hear it from me how it is. But ultimately, it's on Carson. It doesn't matter if you have Bill Parcells in his face yelling at him, or quarterback guru Tom House, or any quarterback whisper. John Elway could come in the door. Sure. It doesn't matter if he's not open to receiving the criticism, the help, and what needs to be fixed. Because I ultimately believe that there's no coach that's going to fix Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has to fix himself. And I feel the same way with Carson Wentz. He needs to help himself before anybody else can.
Bob, the more I find out about what Doug Peterson allowed Carson Wentz to do and what was allowed, and I've heard some of the interviews on Mike Missinelli's show and on Cuz's show.
The fact that they stopped the Thursday meeting was insane.
To me, that's Doug Peterson waving the white flag and saying, I'm no longer in control of my locker room. My highest paid player and I are not even communicating. And honestly, I think it's a really bad look on Doug Peterson.
Yeah, there's that. Whenever you say lose a player or lose players, I said to you before, lose a locker room. Those are the most damning things a coach can hear. And once he sees that out in the media or once it starts to get whispered, it's usually the start of a downfall for a coach. Now, as far as who's here to fix it, I think it's Steichen. I think it's his job. I don't think he comes in here and it's I think he comes in here just like he did, going in with Herbert this year. Herbert had a really good rookie year.
He really did.
The kid threw for over 4,300 yards, 31 touchdown passes, and just 10 interceptions. That is a phenomenal year for a rookie. I think you have to approach Carson Wentz almost in the same regards, in that, not that he's a rookie, but you study him, you see what he did well, all of that, and you go in like it's a fresh start, like he is a rookie, and say, look, here's the system, here's what I want you to do, much like I'm sure he did with Justin Herbert.
Pat, are you a believer that one of them will play like the good cop, bad cop routine?
I feel like you might have to, just balancing that tightrope of getting a player's coach and getting a hard ass, but Jamie nailed it, man. It's on Wentz. I keep thinking about the J. Cole song, No Role Models, because in the song he says, don't save her, she don't want to be saved. At some point, I'm worried that this coaching staff is going to go, he doesn't want to be saved. He thinks he knows it all, and that's a real issue with this team.
Okay, here's the only part of the Carson Wentz narrative that I'm not understanding. It was in a conversation I had this weekend about Wentz, I was told, Well, the biggest hard ass on Carson Wentz was Frank Reich. So Frank Reich was a hard ass on Carson Wentz, and he liked it. And now other coaches are tough on him, and he heals back.
Well,
and
he got
doesn't
paid.
Like it.
He got paid, and I think that changes your mindset.
Maybe
if you're not
FU money, like we talked about
That's
earlier.
At 8 o'clock, the FU money. Be listening.
I don't know. It's very concerning that any type of like 3 or 180 that Carson Wentz did from the player that we were told he was when he came here. But Jamie's probably right. Other factors, I don't care about that. It all goes back to Carson Wentz.
I got to tell you here, the more money I've gotten in my career, the more open I am to it. Like, I'll take more coaching, more hard ass, more whatever, as long as every other Friday's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand the mentality of I make more money because the things you do when you take coaching and you get yourself better and everything then give you the financial rewards.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the financial rewards, my entire objective is to grow the financial rewards and get more financial rewards.
Yeah, I get you. But a lot of people, when they no longer have to worry about getting hit with insufficient balance when they go to check out at Wawa, it changes them.
That happened to you at Wawa?
Oh, it's happened to me. I bought something for $1 the other day, and I got hit with insufficient funds. And the person tried to be nice about it and say, oh, your card was declining. I go, oh, yeah, no, it's because I'm broke. And then I had to hit him with a credit card. I digress.
Don't listen to him.
I think with Carson Wentz in the situation, I don't think necessarily he liked being coached hard. I think that he was coached hard. He played well under it. He didn't necessarily like it, but then they replaced it with coaches who did not coach him hard.
Well, a buddy boy in Press Taylor.
Exactly.
Yeah. That it takes a really good athlete to see why he's good outside of himself. I've talked about this with a lot. What do you think makes you so good? Yeah, you can do this and you can do that, but you do know that the coach extracted that from you. You might not even known you had it, whatever it may be. I give the LeBron James example all the time. I'm sitting there 3 hours before a game, and here comes LeBron James out on the floor at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for a 7 o'clock game.
Oh, you mean his private practice sessions?
Private practice session, where he comes out and he's working up a giant sweat. And, people can't believe when I put out on Twitter, like, here's LeBron, mid-sweat at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because the great ones don't satisfy.
610-632-0975 if you'd like to share in that. I still don't think, though, we've gotten to the answer of one of them has been the answer was one of them is going to get under the hood and says, I can fix Carson
Sticken is going to be the guy that works with them on the day-to-day basis. So if I had to put that responsibility on one of them, it would be him.
Is he going to call plays?
We don't know. We'll find out at the press conference.
I hope he does. Plays.
I think Sirianni calls plays.
I think Sirianni's calling plays.
Yeah.
I think he's looking at Andy Reid. I think he's looking at Doug Peterson. He's looking at other people on their careers, at the point of their careers, that they called plays when they got the ascension to head coach.
If that's the case, then your offensive coordinator is the one under the hood. Right? I'm calling the plays. But you're hand in hand because I don't know what I can do with the car unless you tell me how it's running.
Alan says on social media here, he said, John, you aren't joking. Last night, 3 different stations in Philadelphia, I heard 3 different pronunciations. And I even heard 2 on television clips that I pulled up about the Chargers on stories. I heard Stickin' and Steichen. It's the strangest thing in the world. I want the explanation. I want a pronunciation guide for these names.
I'm sure the media guide will come out soon.
They'll get on it, and so the local guys can get
Let me
right
see if I can pull up something from like Chargers.com, because the Chargers website is not.
They should get it right. They should get it right.
So let me do some research.
I heard one yesterday where it was Steichen. So I'm trying to get to the idea.
I went
of what
Steichen.
We could always go first name. We can act like we're boys with them. Shane.
Just say Shane.
Hey, Shane.
That's Shanna's boyfriend.
Hey, oh, jeez.
It's just got
it'll be confusing.
Don't get too comfy with that.
I got it.
Don't get too comfy
I got it under control.
In the linchpin, we memorialize a date that everyone will probably remember for the rest of their lives.
This is the linchpin.
Yeah, somehow it's been 1 year since the passing of Kobe Bryant. And I remember doing the 5 a.m. show with Bob that day, and it hit me way more than I thought it ever would have. And maybe part of it was me being a new parent and having a young daughter and putting myself in that situation and just the thought of how devastating it was that it hit me harder. But it floored me. And it kind of surprised me because I never had that, like, I admired Kobe, but I never, like, he was never my favorite player. Like, he wasn't, but I think I know how revered he was and how loved he was. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, and it surprised me.
The mortality of it? Like, it hit your mortality you were feeling it?
Yeah, something about with the young daughter really crushed me.
I felt that way, too, is immediately I went to his daughter.
Yes.
Because to me, if I die tomorrow, and I don't want to, I love life, but if I die tomorrow, I have gotten to squeeze a lot of juice out of the lemon. Mm-hmm. So I am not going to, I wouldn't want anybody crying for me, but my daughter, I would, I would be crushed if anything like that happened.
One of my first lines after the news and it all started coming in was, to me, I said it to my family, I said it to my daughter, who actually, Jenna, was the one that told me. Right. She was on her phone and was like, Dad. Geez. But I said, as much as Kobe Bryant, the basketball player, died and all that, I took it as just like Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, Kobe Bryant with his daughter died today. I mean, that... with his daughter and the love, all the things that we saw them together and him with his arm around her and coaching and, he's going to coach her in a game. That's what really, really hit me.
Yeah, I did a show that night. I woke up from a nap, found out, and I had a whole show planned. I had to scrap it, obviously, because we were doing a Kobe Bryant show. And truthfully, I was never a Kobe guy. His personality just turned me off. I don't think I ever forgave him for 2001, which is ridiculous. But the first thing I went to was the child angle, his daughter.
Sure.
And I actually ended up making a video because it dawned on me that if I died tomorrow, my son's never going to remember me. I ended up making like a 10-minute video just in case something happened because it made me realize life's way too short.
I can tell you this, there is a lot of revisionist history, I believe, and from people, I know a lot of people very close to that story, and there's a lot of revisionist history about how Kobe was thought of. Many people... that now you talk about the love people had for Kobe. Fans did. There were a lot of people in the basketball circles that looked at him as a ruthless SOB that didn't think they had the utmost respect for him. But love wasn't the word that they felt for him. Fans felt a lot of love. If you were a Kobe guy, you were a Kobe guy.
But I think even those people in the basketball world...
the respect was there.
Yeah, they admired what a killer he was. He wanted to rip your heart out of your chest.
He did.
And do whatever it took to win. And as a fan of a sports team, you always want that guy. You want that DNA on your team.
It was spectacular DNA.
I've told this story to these guys before. I think it was 2010, but we're at an All-Star game in Los Angeles. And it's, typical All-Star game, back and forth. And then LeBron James, took an offensive foul. There's about 8-9 minutes to go in the game. Takes an offensive foul, and then the next time down the floor, bullies his way, boom, dunk. I looked at Kobe Bryant. I swear to God, I could see the switch go. And it was one of I've told you guys this story, and it gives me goosebumps. The look on his eye was, okay, you want this? And it's an all-star game. And the way he and LeBron James went back and forth, Kobe wound up winning MVP. It was like, I'm telling you, John, if there was a giant switch in the Staples Center that day, I watched Kobe Bryant walk over and go, here I come, flick. And it was so magnificent to watch. And I appreciate, you say that people hated him. Guess what? He loved that people hated him.
I will give you this one right here with LeBron. When, I can tell you flat out, when LeBron took to the microphone and did I'm going to carry on the legacy, I'm going to do this, and you can count on me to carry on the legacy. There were many in the Kobe circles that didn't like that, didn't appreciate it, didn't think it was appropriate.
Why?
Because they weren't that tight. They weren't that tight.
Yeah, but
it'd be like me saying, I've known you for a month and a half.
But
it'd be like me saying, hey, now Jamie's something happened to Jamie. Well, you know what? Jamie's family, they'll count on me. I'll step in where Jamie is. Jamie's not there as a dad anymore. James, you can count on me.
I always took that as more of an organizational thing. Like Kobe took it from Magic, who took it from Kareem.
It did not go well. Let me just put it that way. It didn't go well.
I didn't take that as a we're good friends thing. I took that as a, hey, I'm going to keep the Lakers torch burning.
I can tell you a lot of people took it as a look at me moment when it was Kobe.
I never even thought about it that way.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance. Liberty Mutual customizes your insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Customize and save with Liberty Mutual Insurance. Remember, Flyers and Devils tonight. Flyers need to turn it around. Let's be honest.
I'm not happy with that.
Brian Elliott's starting tonight, right?
That was a crappy weekend. That was a crappy weekend. And they're going to get a turnaround tonight. Flyers, Devils tonight at 7 o'clock. I had the golden opportunity, and you talk about opportunity of a lifetime, to conduct the very first interview that Kobe and Shaq did after they separated.
That's right.
And they then did one for television afterwards. But when Shaq started his podcast, he said flat out, well, what do you want? I said, well, the first guest, you've got to get Kobe Bryant on here. And he goes, I'd like to let it breathe a little bit. We let it breathe. We were in probably 10 episodes, something like that. He goes, I just don't want to go to the Kobe card
first
right away. So immediately, and I remember being with Shaq when he called him to ask him on the speaker. And literally he's like, dude, I need you for my podcast. And Kobe literally said to him, when? Because people always depict Kobe and Shaq as these two people that hated each other. And I can tell you this, they weren't boys. They had a lot of issues between them. But both of them, the utmost respect they had for each other, and both of them, whether it was Kobe with Shaq's kids or Shaq with Kobe's kids, they were like extended family.
Yeah. You see that now with Pau Gasol and the role he stepped into with Kobe's kids. It's beautiful.
Thing is, though, and the thing is, though, with Gasol, though, is the relationship between him and Kobe was very tight.
Yes, yeah.
Shaq and Kobe, it was volatile at times.
Gasol's not a threat.
But the two of them were interesting. I had the chance to do the interview, and it was one of the greatest honors of my career, especially after this. And I wanted you to hear a couple cuts from it. And so I asked Kobe and Shaq, now this is when Kobe was getting ready for his final season in the NBA. So he's training for his final season in the NBA, his 20th. And I said, Shaq always says the NBA is much softer today. And Kobe wanted to offer his thoughts.
Shaq's told us that he believes the NBA today, the product, is a lot softer than in his day. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. I've said that before, too. And when we play in the Olympics, the physicality in the Olympics is they're more physical than the NBA is. It's the silliest shit in the world. The NBA used to be the toughest, strongest league in the world, and now it's not that.
They both then go on just to be like, the NBA is so soft. And also, players are soft.
Mm-hmm.
Players are mentally soft. Players are worried about personal brands, not winning championships. And Shaq and Kobe were willing to have this alliance to work together till it broke to win championships. They're willing to put up with each other.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're lucky. You got to talk to Shaq probably 1 million times about this. And the few times that it came up with Kobe when I was around, it just became blatantly obvious to me. Kobe Bryant's one of the most competitive people I ever saw up close and ever, talk to. That doesn't change if a guy becomes a teammate.
No.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, you're an alpha dog and another alpha dog comes in. Well, every day I'm the number one alpha dog, and Kobe wasn't going to back down from that. It's something that probably helped them to 2 championships, but it was also what led to what people thought was a discord.
And I talked to Shaq and Kobe about the fact that marriage ended too early. It ended too early. And so I want you to hear it in their words, as far as they missed opportunities to win more titles, and they both were to blame. Listen.
Do you think you guys missed an opportunity, though, to be the all-time best because of the fact you went separate ways? Then what happened? What happened with the two of you then? Why didn't it work out?
I mean, it's just, again, it was just 2 alpha males. The business aspect kicked in, and, I was getting older. So, management is like, hey, you're getting older. We know you want this, but we want to give you that. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not getting older. I don't want that. I don't want that. And then they just wanted to move in a new direction.
I think philosophically, could you imagine how many years would Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain be playing together, with Wilt in his prime and Michael wanting to come up and grow it. Like, how long is that going to last before Michael says, you know what?
Right.
It's time for me to show
That's
what
a good analogy.
They both, as Bob just said, they both were alpha males.
That's a good analogy.
And they were willing to be champions together. But then they were going to say, okay, Kobe's like, this has to be my team now. And Shaq's like, wait a minute, I'm not ready to be pushed out. And then Shaq, but also too, Shaq tells you flat out, it became also too about money with him. Wait a minute, you want me to take less so Kobe can have more? BS. I'll go somewhere else where they're willing to give me max type money. And it became about that. It became about egos.
Alpha heads butting,
And they both admit it.
Yeah, and I think Bob brought up a good point with Powell. Powell wasn't really a threat. Now, I did hear a story about Kobe, and I think it was either from Jeremy Lin or Lou Williams about he was on a bad Lakers team. Kobe's practicing, and he yelled at everyone to take their shoes off and throw them away because they didn't deserve to be wearing Kobe's because they were such trash.
Guess what? I can tell you there's more.
It's funny now.
There's more you're going to hear from Kobe and Shaq from that interview. But what I was most taken aback by is the fact is I don't know that there's anybody that I've ever competed against or with that I had that much friction with and that much success with. There's a lot of friction here, and they talk about it. There was a lot of friction.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear it, and that is something that can be, it truly is one of the untold stories of this, and we'll give you some more of Shaq and Kobe throughout the course of the day today. If you would like to get in and share your thoughts, too, on a day like this, you can at 610-632-0975. We'll have Bob Cooney's Extreme Home Makeover, or will it be a slight fix-it job for that Eagles roster? Plus, Pat Egan says, nobody's getting in. What's he talking about? It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I love the home teams, and I love the fact that when I was trying to partner with a home team, I chose Parks Casino because of the fact that, well, for one thing, I know where to find Parks Casino. Look, it's flat out. It's convenient to get there, and more importantly, it's convenient to use the Parks Casino Sportsbook app, which is the official partner of the Real Philly Fan and the only sportsbook that's based right here in the Delaware Valley. Now, remember, Fly Guys visiting New Jersey tonight. 1.5 goal underdog on the puck line tonight. You may want to think that one. 1 p.m. today, Temple. How about that? 1 point underdog hosting Tulsa. These day afternoon games is very crazy. You can bet on who will win MVP of the game in the big game coming up in like 2 weeks. Bet on individuals that'll score touchdowns. If you like fantasy sports, this is like fantasy sports on steroids. Your first risk-free bet will be refunded in site credit when you go on and you use the promo code FANATIC up to $500. Download that Parks Casino app today. See the website for terms and conditions at parkscasino.com/PA. Bet with a home team. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
This is not radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. How would you like to start 2021 with a little FU money? 97.5 The Fanatic has your chance.
Listen at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2, 4, 6, and 8 p.m. for your chance to win $500 of FU money.
So, you got my money?
FU money from us for you. $500. You get the point.
Keep reading the copy.
97.5 The Fanatics. FU money. Start the new year with some new cash.
Show me the money. Presented by Adam Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Get 0% financing for 6 years on an HVAC system from Adam Mechanical.
A little FU money from 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
When you're in the mood for comfort food, Wawa has you covered. Try our savory brisket, made from the finest cuts of beef, hand-trimmed and slowly braised to perfection. Savor the richness of a tangy barbecue and layers of tender beef. Enjoy your brisket on a brioche bun or in a hearty bowl. Wintertime is the right time for barbecue brisket from Wawa. Order yours today, in-store or on the Wawa app. Gotta have a Wawa. Wherever the day takes you, Wawa is your energy headquarters for drinks to power up and stay energized all day long. Wake up with a Wawa coffee or your favorite energy drink. Grab a Red Bull Watermelon or Monster Ultra Watermelon to power up your day with a big burst of flavor. All the energy drinks you need, all in one Wawa run. Make Wawa your energy headquarters today with an energy drink or Wawa coffee. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hey, it's Cuz. Let's talk about a word. Procrastination. A lot of us are guilty of delaying at least one important decision. In my case, it's probably about a dozen. But if you've been putting off getting your roof repaired or replaced, I'm here to help. That's right. Call the only roofer I trust, my friend, Anthony Labruciano. Here's why you need to call Labruciano Roofing. Anthony's repaired or replaced every kind of roof there is. And yes, you'll meet with Anthony. From estimate to completion, he's there to explain everything. He is the shingle master, whose name is behind every roof he repairs. As soon as you meet Anthony, you'll see why he has hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. And Labruciano Roofing is a certainteed 5-star select shingle master, which means they can offer the best warranty in the business with 50 years from the manufacturer and 25 years on the workmanship. Too important to trust with a jack of all trades. Go with the only roofing expert I recommend, Labruciano Roofing. Call 610-265-ROOF or go to PARoofPros.com. That's PARoofPros.com. Labruciano Roofing, the master.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Assurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Sam's new project needs a project manager right away if she's going to manage to hit her deadline.
It took an extra week to get approvals, but they still want the original delivery date. I guess we'll figure something out.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
For DIY projects, you know the Home Depot's always in your corner. Now with our mobile app, it can also be in the palm of your hand. With digital tools like image search, snap a picture of something, it'll recognize it and serve up product suggestions in seconds. And our product locator will check availability and lead you right to it. The Home Depot mobile app. Download it today to get started. Only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Buonasera.
Buonasera. How can I make the most of waiting for my next big vacation?
Translate your questions into goals by investing with Merrill Edge Self-Directed. It's more accessible than you think, with helpful planning tools plus free online stock and ETF trades, so you can keep practicing your pronunciation. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC. Other fees may apply. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Well, as the world's blandest man, the idea of insurance made for me is almost riveting.
Big fan of beige?
I find other neutrals too unpredictable.
That's cool. Liberty Mutual's just here to protect your home with customized insurance.
And here we've got my doorstop collection.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You ever lie awake at night, can't sleep, not wanting to see what time it is because that's just going to keep you up? Tonight, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's all night. Unlike other sleep aids, our extended-release melatonin helps you fall asleep naturally and then slowly releases so you stay asleep longer through the night. It's non-habit-forming with no next-day grogginess. ZzzQuil Pure Z's all night, so you can fall asleep and stay asleep. Available at retailers near you.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next. And bounce forward. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
My name is Jerome Bettis, and I love football. It has always been a part of me, this game. Just like the game has always been a part of you. Bet Rivers Sportsbook wants you to enjoy every game. Whether we revel in victory or suffer the loss, our passion for the game makes us all winners. Enjoy every game with Philly's hometown sportsbook, Bet Rivers Sportsbook.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the winters are mild, the deals are wild. Gary Barbera knows how to sell a Jeep cheap. $199 down or $199 a month. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Go to the contest page at 975thefanatic.com to get registered for a chance to win a digital copy of Born a Champion. Don't miss Sean Patrick Flannery in the inspirational film about the love for family, the drive for greatness, and the willingness to never give up without a fight. Born a Champion is in select theaters, on digital, and on demand now. Rated R from Lionsgate. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Yes, I'm a seasoned broadcaster, but I've also got a fine head of hair.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
I'm not going to sing it this time. I'll get accused of wanting to be a singer. Oh, I love it in the car.
You already sang to us once today.
In the car, I'd sing it. What did I sing? Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, Jay, for like a full minute, you were singing to us today. You are a secret. You secretly want to be singing in front of people.
No, what you did is, what it is you guys, if you derail me with a thought, like if you bring up a TV theme song, I have to sing it.
Yeah, and I looked at Coach, and I was like, what the hell did you do to us?
I have to do that. You derailed it by, I have to sing Josie and the Pussycats, Long Tails and Ears for Hats.
And then you did something in outer space.
And then Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. Yeah. Pussycats are all in place, blasting off on another chase. Mars stars the Milky Way. Where they're going, who can say?
Why did you? Why did
in my head.
Was this a TV show, a band?
Yeah,
it was a TV show?
It was
it had girls in it.
Oh,
it was a cartoon.
Yeah, but guess what, though? There were cartoon girls.
I was going to say,
I don't watch
Josie
I still don't watch
yes. Josie and the Pussycats was for prepubescent boys. They were cartoon
horny
characters,
cartoons,
and the girls were all hot. They were all hot, and they were wearing.
Who doesn't like a good boner?
And they were wearing cat suits.
Can you be hot if you're animated?
Yeah, like Lois Griffin, Peter's wife, is hot.
There's a certain
hot cartoon.
There's a certain part of the internet where people like that.
Cartoons?
They like cartoons.
Anime porn is a thing.
Whoa.
It's huge.
Wait a minute.
Good.
Hentai.
The when they would have the Dragon Con in Atlanta.
I'm sorry, what?
Do they have a thing called Dragon Con, which is, I guess it's supposed to be Comic Con?
But I'm guessing
they call
it's
it Dragon Con because it's all about, there's anime in it.
Yeah.
I was going to guess Game of Thrones.
They have a parade that is in the streets of Atlanta that literally is huge. Parade with people that come in from out of town and everything, and they dress up in costume and they walk the streets, and it shuts down the downtown street for at least an hour and a half. The amount of people that are walking the streets dressed as Batman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, people get into it.
Cartoons. But it's unbelievable. You got all kinds of age groups. I would love to just set up a lounge chair, a folding chair, and Bob Cooney has to sit and watch it, and just have a camera on Bob and have the running commentary like Bob's doing, like the Channel 6 with the Thanksgiving Day parade. Bob watches this parade, and it goes on forever.
Better have a cooler full of beer right next to me.
It goes on.
How is that different from any other day, Bob?
It goes on forever.
I was watching The Little Mermaid yesterday with Skylar, and I went, oh, Ariel. When she becomes a human, she's hot.
Ariel was always my favorite cartoon.
Mine was Jasmine.
God.
Jasmine?
Oh, Ariel.
Jasmine, yeah.
Yeah, Jasmine. She's hot.
Wait, Bob. Okay, so
I'm not getting into anime porn, but you can recognize
pencils that people draw.
Yes, but they can draw.
They can be
attractive.
Oh my God!
What about Trixie? You like Trixie back in the day.
You definitely have an animated person that you were attracted to.
I was in a basketball.
No, because they're not persons, Jamie.
I was bouncing a basketball.
Yeah, I was into sports. You guys are weird.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Stop being weird, Bob.
Come on, there's plenty
It's
of.
definitely an animated character that you found attractive. Not saying you want to act on it, but you're what's up?
Bob likes cartoons.
I never do this, but if somebody is listening in the audience right now and they're willing to just say to Bob, "Come on now,"
yeah,
I always
Barney Rubble's wife.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. And in the meantime, we heard what Egan thinks about making over the Eagles roster last hour. He says it's an extreme teardown. Question is, where does Bob the Builder go? We'll find out now.
We were real. We went Ginger and Marianne. You guys are doing animated?
There you go.
We're not the weird one here,
God.
Bob. You are.
All right, John, I'm not going to go extreme makeover like Pat Egan did. I'm not. I see tune-up, maybe a little bit more than a tune-up, because you also need to get spare tires. You also need to make sure you have jumper cables in the trunk. So what I'm saying with the Eagles is I don't see extreme makeover. Tear it down, rebuild it. I think it's more of a addition to what you have, okay? Obviously, first thing you have to do, fix the quarterback position. Correct. I didn't say fix Carson Wentz. I said fix the quarterback position. If it's Carson Wentz, so be it. You need depth at running back. I like Miles Sanders as a starting running back in this league. I think used properly, he can be one of the top 10 running backs in the league, starting running backs in the league. You're fine there. If this offensive line gets healthy, I like Jamie's point earlier. If you do have a Brandon Brooks and if you do have a Lane Johnson that are healthy, I know what you're saying. If Jason, they're all ifs. If Jason Kelsey comes back healthy, and, the other Jordan Mailata, Isaac Seumalo, you did get a chance to play some rookies significant time. That's helpful. If somebody goes down, it's helpful that they have some things there. I think your wide receiver core might be okay if they have someone designing proper plays for them. Fulgham showed you something. Ward has shown you something. Rager's still in his, just 1 year under his belt. I like a lot Dallas Goedert. There's things there. You have to get it better, and that's what you do with a tune-up. You get that better, and you also have secondary pieces that you're ready for that's going to have to come through the draft, that's going to have to come through free agency. Defensively, the defensive line has to perform better. I think a lot of that may have had to do with Jim Schwartz's scheme. So if you have a different guy there, different ear, maybe that vaunted defensive line gets a little better. Maybe the Derek Barnett gets better. And then linebacker you have to hit. You got to hit somebody there. That has to be one of your priorities. And then secondary you have to hit. But so to me, it's a tune-up and get your secondary piece. Be ready for a breakdown. Tune up, be ready for a breakdown, but not a complete overhaul of just dismantling everything and bringing stuff back.
7 ifs.
No, I hear you.
And more importantly, Bob, I just think you just built the 2011 Phillies. I think you just built the 2011 Phillies. Let's hold on, and we can keep Kelsey and Brooks is going to be back, and Lane Johnson's going to be back, and we're going to get back to. It's a lot of wishing and hoping.
I want the car to run better.
Of course
right?
You do.
I want the car to run.
I'm just trying to get a car.
I still think it could be a decent car. It needs a lot of fixing. And you need a lot of stuff behind it for when it breaks down. The breaking down stuff is the backup offensive lineman, is the depth at running back, is the depth at linebacker.
Yeah. So you got to fix a flat in your car.
You're
ready
have maybe
for it.
Two, and you have jumper cables, and you have everything else that could possibly, if something goes wrong, hopefully you have Band-Aids until you can afford a new car.
Yeah, like you mentioned the age. It's all in the line, though. Like, the rest of the offense around the line is young. So, green goggles on, Jalen Reagor can't be much worse, right? Jamar Chase should be an absolute game changer for this offense. Dallas Goedert with no Zach Ertz here. Again, it's another if, but hopefully he takes that step into why you drafted him in the second round. And, maybe a Fulgham reward. We'll see.
Maybes, ifs. I'm telling you right now.
That's all we got, though.
I'm giving it to you right now that you guys are building me the 2011 Phillies. You're holding on. You are holding off on doing with the work that needs to be done to this house.
Baseball season, boys.
So,
what was that?
Bob Costas.
It's baseball season, boys.
Oh,
I don't want to ask you questions on this because you're going to give yours. But after a 4-11-1 season, and I'm not saying this to be sarcastic, that's all you have is ifs and what ifs. I mean, that's really all you have. If you had definitive answers, you don't have 4-11-1.
We've had a lot of people on YouTube that are checking in. YouTube.tv, YouTube television, you're checking us out. Twitch.tv. A lot of people on YouTube saying Bob loves cartoon women.
Jessica Rabbit? Bob, your thoughts?
Bob
Do you
loves
care to comment?
Cartoon women. And there are lots of guys in this audience
cartoon,
who know it.
Like
Josie and the Pussycats.
I'm stiff.
You could. Mike Missinelli
checking in.
I think Mike Missinelli is probably watching on YouTube right now, having his wheat germ or whatever gets his day going, protein shake, and he's saying, "Dude, there's some hot cartoon women." He's liking it too. Be sure to be listening to the Mike Missinelli show this afternoon. More chances to win FU money. You hang out with Anthony Gargano and then Mike. I mean, this is good. You're getting very flustered on your birthday.
I think he's hiding something.
Your rectum. Loosen up.
I almost wish my wife wasn't so shy that she could call in and be like, "You guys have no idea what you're doing." Like, Bob is not.
Bob's into some weird stuff. You have no idea.
I have grown up with and met a lot of Bob Coonies.
Sure.
Tend to be some of the people that I've had the most affection for in my life. And I love the fact that when they get to a certain age, it's, "I wasn't doing stupid stuff like that. I was out playing ball. I was doing this. I didn't. It was about sports with me."
Beef jerky
No, I'm
and
not
real
saying
women.
that.
No, but it's that mentality of, look, you definitely, lie detector on you. There are cartoon women you found attractive.
Yes. Gun to your head right now.
No, I see a pencil drawing something. It doesn't make me attractive.
Hot cartoon.
And I've told this before.
You're hiding something.
Without giving out his jurisdiction, my cousin Joe is an expert in polygraphs.
Bring it.
This is like the Seinfeld 90210.
And we can do this. And by the way, Bob's one of yeah.
Or Melrose Place.
I know
excuse me.
that. Daryl Morey last night he put up on Twitter, and I thought it would have driven Jamie and Pat Egan crazy. They're having one of those like brackets or something about media members.
Oh, massive eye roll to this.
And Daryl Morey says, "I'll always go for Brick from General Hospital" when they put up Stephen A. Smith. So I said, "Wait a minute, GH." Oh yeah, when my wife's got it all. My wife's a big fan. My wife's got it.
Yeah.
He knows
classic.
He knows every character's name. If you know Brick's name, you know Sonny and Carly.
Oh yeah.
If you know Brick's name, you know Ava. I mean, come on.
Can we get back to cartoon porn?
That's even better.
Pick one, Bob.
Poor Charles is better. There is. Bob's gonna, by the end of the day, he'll bet it.
No, I won't.
Cartoon Jessica Rabbit
It has nothing
walks
to do
in
with
here.
age or anything like
Beauty
that.
and the Beast. Her name is literally Beauty.
No, you do
Come
go
on,
to
Bob.
You do go
No,
to
her
the
name is,
you do go to
Belle.
I was playing.
yes.
I was playing cards. Okay, all right. Now, not getting creepy.
You've already passed that line.
I think we have already passed
The girl,
it.
the girl bunny in Space Jam.
When you go to
Lola
Disney,
Bunny?
when you go to Disney, when you go to Disney,
They're real people.
I understand that. There are princesses, and there are the girls who are the princesses. There are the girls that are there. Is that? Do you ever say that man, the princess, my wife and daughter have said, Prince Charming does not fit the character. Like, doesn't fit the character. We've been at those like character dinners.
He's not attractive enough. You're
and
saying.
they're like, that's not Prince Charming. Yeah, that he's not rugged enough. He's not big. He's not, not built. He's not jacked up. So they look at it like, do you look at the human people playing characters as not fitting the suit? No.
He's so uncomfortable. He is so uncomfortable with this conversation.
So let's get it going.
Have I been in Disney and been like,
Belle's hot?
Belle's hot? Or
no,
if it's an attractive Belle walking around in a costume and she's above the age of 20, I might say to myself, wow, she's attractive. Right. Yes, I am not looking pencil to paper and saying, wow, look how hot that is. No.
And then I find myself asking what kind of underwear she might be wearing.
There we go.
Bob Cooney likes anime.
FU.
That's a movie line, Bob.
The
Don't
FU
worry.
Money keyword is coming up at 8 a.m. It's your chance to win $500. Let's wander on over to Cooney's Corner, and he can download a bit on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, he's downloading.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Anime porn, that is.
I'm thinking.
Hey, go ahead, Bobby.
I just had you look at me and ask me if my wife ever looks at Prince Charming in Disney.
Like this,
she does.
Well, I guess what?
She does.
She should have a wandering eye. I mean, serious. Let's be honest.
Oh,
at
boy.
Disney, yes. Come on.
So,
Yeah, how do we move on?
Pull us out of this nosedive, Bob.
a lot
like
of
Bob's library.
lot of frustration around the Sixers, and rightfully so. And I told you guys before the show started today, I don't know how many times, I'm not going to get the giggles. I don't know how many times I watched Ben Simmons dribble to the 8-foot area and turn his back on the basket when a defender was backing up. It drives me nuts. Let's go past that. We have played on this show, particularly before, John, you came here, What do the Sixers need to get better? What
Call
do
us
they need?
610-63.
Yeah, and it was shooting. They kind of have that now. When their starters play, as we know, they're 9-0. There still is frustration there. Most of it is when Joel Embiid is out of the lineup. Although they have probably the best backup center that they've had since he's been here. But you look at last night's game, and Coach said it when we came in. God, it frustrated me. I had to turn it off. What do the Sixers need now? If you have a full lineup in there that is 9-0, and if you have the bench that you have and the starters that you have, what is it right now? Because I was kind of struggling with this last night, that the Sixers need on this team to be that much better.
I know.
Go ahead.
They need their guy that everybody in the Philly media and fan base says they think should be MVP. They need him to play more often instead of having fake injury situations like last night where all of a sudden that back will be well on Wednesday. I'm tired of it. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. This idea. Take the freaking training wheels off. That's what this team needs. Take the training wheels off.
John, I swear.
Take them off.
Egan could go back and get tape of me saying the exact, almost verbatim, what you said last year, the year before. I was tired of it. I couldn't stand it either. This year, like I said to you, because it's such a sprint this year, I understand it this year.
That's more reason to have less time off. Less games.
Well, if you're playing so many amount of games in so little time all the time, I don't know.
How old's LeBron James? And last night he had another epic performance.
I think he'll be 36 this year.
40. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Did you see what happened with him? It's the end of the third quarter, and he misses a shot at the buzzer. And an executive of the Cleveland Cavaliers who's sitting in the first row chirped. LeBron looked at him and said, "Oh, yeah?" LeBron went for 21 in the fourth quarter alone.
He was awesome last night.
That's sick. But it's legitimate. And I hear you on that, John. I swear to God, every year, Jamie will tell you how many times I've beaten that drum. But, all right, take that away. He's here already. What do the Sixers need on this team? Because we've been crying, rightfully so. They need somebody that can create with the basketball. Well, you have a Tyrese Maxey and you have a Shake Milton now. You need shooters. Well, you have a Seth Curry and you have a Danny Green now. Like, what else does this team need? What? And I'm not asking to be a wise ass. I'm asking, I want to know an answer.
They need Ben Simmons to carry the team when Joel Embiid's not there.
He's not going to do that.
Well, then they're in trouble.
But Joel Embiid's going to be there when you need him.
Is he?
Well, he had the
diarrhea in the playoffs 2 years ago.
If
missed some
LeBron
games.
James isn't there, the Lakers aren't winning
His
at all.
face ran into Markelle Fultz's shoulder. He missed some playoff time. Maybe not playoff time, end of the year time. I can't count on him to be there.
Okay.
What would tell me I can?
Nothing. Ben Simmons isn't that guy, guys.
Well, then
he's
they're not
going to
win.
That's going to carry you scoring wise to win games when Joel Embiid's not there. He's just not.
Well, that's a problem.
It's a huge problem. This team is not going to. People are thinking that this is going to be a different team come postseason time. I'm not buying it.
I think it's a lot better team.
Okay, am I going to find are they going to play every night? Then he can play every night. Embiid can play every night
in the playoffs. Yes.
So he can play every night. Then he can't play every night now
because you're safe. Oh, look, I'm not gonna. I'm defending something that I've been against my whole life.
I know you are. I'm just saying I think this is heading down the same path. I think it's heading down the same path. I don't see anything different.
First round.
Win a first round this year.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be one of those crazy seasons.
I think they're better than they've been in years past in totality. I just worry that you need, because I don't know who else is going to step up the scoring. You're getting good scoring from Seth. Danny Green is what he is at this point in his career. Tobias is having a good year, but you're paying him more money than Kevin Durant. So, I just don't know.
NJ Diet is contractually guaranteed. You're going to lose 20 to 40 pounds in only 40 days. And they're now offering live online video consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. Remember the FU money keyword coming up at the top of the hour. Your opportunity to get in there. I don't believe that... I guess it's protecting the investment or whatever. And I appreciate the fact that, Bob, you have been banging the drum on that for a while. And that at some point, Joel Embiid has to be treated like every other player in the NBA. You cannot have these training wheels on him. And it just doesn't, it's not working.
The designated load management, it's almost like every team has to pick one at the beginning of the year, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Kawhi, you're going to be it this year. Okay. Anthony Davis, you're going to be it because LeBron refuses to do so. Why?
I wonder why LeBron refuses to. Oh, because he can't be told he's staying out of the lineup because he'll make life miserable for everybody.
Sports is muscle memory. Your muscle memory needs to say every other day, all right, I'm ready to play 35 minutes tonight. It did in all the years past.
And can I ask you why you wouldn't want the win in the Eastern Conference?
That's a good point, too.
Why wouldn't you take advantage of the 3-foot putt? Because you're trying to be ready for the Lakers? A game that in the grand scheme, you lose the Laker game, that's fine. I wouldn't have a problem with if you think you're good enough that you may face the Lakers in the spring. I may be good enough with not letting you have a look at Joel Embiid.
There's that train of thought. I hear you on that.
And that's what would have gone on in San Antonio.
But
that's absolutely what Pops would have thought. Pops would have said, you keep him away from the Lakers in the regular season so they don't feel like they got any tape on him as far as against them and everything.
Yeah, that's easy to do when you have a bunch of championships
then
in your
Pops
back pocket.
would have lectured you on everything else, like how to vote and everything like that, too.
But, no, as much as you have to have Joel Embiid out there for that challenge tomorrow night. You have to have him out there.
Yeah.
I understand what
Pops
you're saying.
Didn't feel that way.
Yeah, but
one of the greatest coaches, right?
I hear you. But Timmy Duncan had a little something that Joel Embiid isn't even close to coming to. So I really think this is all about. Yeah, what is that?
What
That's
is the banging noise?
Oh.
They're literally banging.
I thought.
Like right on.
And Joel Embiid has fared very well against Anthony Davis in his career. So I agree. Like he does have to play tomorrow night.
Yeah, he
otherwise you got no shot.
The Lakers.
Because it's Anthony.
Why pass up the 3-foot putt for the easy win against one of the worst teams in the NBA?
Because you should be good enough. Because you should be good enough without Joel Embiid to beat the Pistons.
And what have you know? What do we already know?
Well, then Doc Rivers needs to get in their ass.
Well,
that was pathetic.
It's what it's all written over. This team consistently, and this is a problem. We got a lot coming up for you in the 8 o'clock hour. Your chance to win $500, which is always good, and a word to Deshaun Watson. Toughen up. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I am loving the fact that I'm now able to sing the praises of my T-Mobile device. And I've been showing it to you on the television side. I love it. I love being able to use my T-Mobile device. And whether I lived in Atlanta or I lived here, I get that same great backbone, that great network. Because when T-Mobile and Sprint merge, the best network in the world is right here in Philadelphia. And when I travel home to Atlanta, it's in Atlanta. It is absolutely awesome. They've added millions of square miles of expanded LTE coverage across the country. More towers, more engineers, more coverage. And T-Mobile is great, too. The great rates that you can get. I have been a customer with T-Mobile as long as they've existed. I've never had to go on the radio and tell people, yeah, I made the switch to T-Mobile. No, I never switched. I chose them in the beginning, and I'm sticking with them now. Why? Because they never disappoint me. Why don't you have a chance to learn why I'm such a satisfied customer? There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com to learn more today. Now, coverage may not be available in some areas, so be sure to check that out. Tell them Kincade sent you.
The John Kincade Show.
They put it on the air? Of course they put it on the air. It was a big success.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
New Year's resolutions. We all make them. We all break them. That's why your small business needs more than resolutions. It needs solutions. And you can get them with Comcast Business. Whether you want to work more efficiently with fast, reliable internet and advanced Wi-Fi, make your business safer with powerful cybersecurity solutions, or stay productive with 24/7 support. We've got the solutions you need for your business to get there. So make this year's resolution better solutions. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Get a powerful and reliable internet solution from Comcast Business starting at $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, get free installation when you order online. And for a limited time, ask how to upgrade and get a $500 prepaid card. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Prepaid card offer ends 2/7/21. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business Internet and One Voice Mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra, subject to change.
What's up, guys? Andrew Salchunas here. The next time you're watching basketball, I've got the perfect way for you to get in on the action for free. I'm talking about NBA In-Play. It's absolutely free to play on the FanDuel app and features all of the fun of live betting. NBA In-Play turns every quarter of every game into a free contest where you can win real cash prizes. So while you're watching the game, all you have to do is predict the outcomes of plays and game props before they happen to claim your share of the prize pool. Best of all, a new contest starts every quarter of every game, giving you even more ways to win. FanDuel is the exclusive home for NBA In-Play, so the action is always available right at your fingertips on the FanDuel app. The app is so easy to use, and it takes less than 2 minutes to sign up. And it doesn't matter where you live or where you're traveling to, because NBA In-Play is available in every state.
Don't miss your shot. Get in the game and download the FanDuel app to start playing NBA In-Play today.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change to do. We can get you everything you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter for just $26.99. Plus a $5 bonus reward if you're an AutoZone Rewards member. Not a member? We can sign you up fast right here in store or on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
What's in store this week at Staples?
Printing you new signs for the times.
Get back to business with custom printed signs and sales materials. Staples has hundreds of designs to choose from, or just upload your own.
And now at Staples, get 25% off custom flyers, brochures, postcards, or labels when you spend $70 or more.
Some items printed same day when ordered before 2 p.m.
Save big on custom printing at Staples. Ends 2/27. Exclusions apply. Limit 1 offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/custom prints for details.
For DIY projects, you know the Home Depot's always in your corner. Now with our mobile app, it can also be in the palm of your hand. With digital tools like image search, snap a picture of something. It'll recognize it and serve up product suggestions in seconds. And our product locator will check availability and lead you right to it. The Home Depot mobile app. Download it today to get started. Only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Check out the Stadium Complex's newest Great Time. Sports and social affiliate Live Casino Hotel is opening February 11th. It's the ultimate fan experience with a massive LED display, 24 TVs, and the region's first FanDuel Sportsbook and Lounge. Stop by and enjoy a long lineup of cold beers and game day favorites like short rib cheesesteaks and Nashville hot chicken sliders, all made from scratch. Sports and Social Philly is raising the sports bar at the new Live Casino Hotel Philadelphia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Anthony Gargano. January is Owner Appreciation Month. My uncle's family, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, showing their thanks with unbelievable deals to start the new year. Like, you ready? Discounts up to $12,000 on new vehicles. Save thousands. Make no payments until spring. That's right. Start the new year with a new vehicle and no car payments. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 6 years. The uncles at family, Uncle Greg and Uncle Paul, they have made it easier than ever to buy. You can complete the entire car buying process online from the comfort of your home. Just shop, click, and drive. Choose at-home delivery like a pizza or curbside pickup. If you'd rather go to the dealership, they make that easy and safe too. To schedule an appointment, they will take care of the rest. With safety precautions they've got in place, you can shop with peace of mind. Call, click, or go visit the uncles in the Philadelphia Airport Auto Mall. Remember, at Family Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you're more than a customer, you're family. Happy New Year from the uncles, and see the uncles for details. The offer expires February 1st, 2021.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Hello? 97.5 The Fanatic's FU Money. Your chance to win $500 right now.
All right, pick up those devices. Preferably a T-Mobile device. Text the word DIAL, D-I-A-L, to 45911. D-I-A-L, dial 45911, or enter it on the 97.5 The Fanatic app or at 97.5thefanatic.com. One winner selected at random wins $500, and everyone that enters on our app or website is going to be qualified for a $10,000 grand prize. You can get complete rules for this company-wide contest at 97.5thefanatic.com, and it's all presented by Adam Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Get 0% financing for 6 years on an HVAC system from Adam Mechanical. And remember to have your pets spayed or neutered. I'm John Kincade saying to you, good luck.
Under the sea.
Yeah, I'll bang that.
Take it from me.
Yeah, I'll bang that.
Oh, Bob. Man.
Sick.
8 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show.
Guys are messed up.
It's brought to you by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. Visit PAWorkinjury.com as we celebrate Bob's birthday. I don't even know when that soundbite is from.
He's talking about his pie.
Oh yeah, no, he
fetish.
thinks that he is, holier than thou, not a weird dude, and yet
I don't think that at all.
He doesn't think that.
Okay, I'm making a point, Bob. I'm making a
my
point.
fault.
Okay.
And yet he's talked about previously on this program that he bangs pies.
Yeah, so there you go. We're back to that. All right, somebody grab me the world's tiniest violin, please. Because I need to play a tune for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. I don't want to slam the guy. I saw him play in high school and then at Clemson. He is an awesome individual on and off the field. But in this situation, he is uniquely slammable. I don't like his attitude now at all. Imagine asking your employer for extreme job security. I want a huge money contract, and I want the money now. Lots of guaranteed bucks up front. You desire security, and your employer says, let us stroke you the check. We'll give you the money up front. Earlier than they had to. Let me just tell you this, folks. A lot of them in our listening audience don't work under a contract. I've worked under a contract now for 22 years of my life. Nowhere in your contract does your employer guarantee you that they're going to let you pick a GM, advise them on a coach, or draft well. Nowhere in my contract do I get to decide who Anthony Gargano's producer is, if I like the program director, if anything like that. You are an employee. You know that when you sign on the dotted line, hence why they give you the money that they give you. We just saw the current NBA slip into this with James Harden. It sucks. You ask for the money, they pay you the money, they give it to you up front, and then you quit on your team. It sucks. And that's exactly what Deshaun Watson is doing. He is quitting on the organization that gave him the job security, all the cash up front that they asked for. He's walking out on a commitment. He's creating a mess, and he's willing to do it to force his exit. Now, there are some that are going to applaud this. Hey, it's just his getting his. BS. He's already gotten his. He wanted job security and money. They gave it to him. Your word is supposed to mean something. And I don't care if you're a star quarterback or whether you're just a lowly radio host. That's where we begin the 8 o'clock hour on Bob Cooney's birthday. He's Bob Cooney. He's Jamie Lynch. He is Pat Egan. And he's the coach, Eric Camille, here on the John Kincade Show. Bob, do you honor contracts?
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. I agree with you. I mean, it's almost like you can relate it to what the position here in Philadelphia, except he's not demanding to get out. As far as we know. As far as we know.
He won't talk.
Right? So
Carson's a marionette right now.
Look,
right?
karma really is something that I believe in, and when you do something like this, I think it does come back to bite you in the ass for many, many years, and it could. There's nothing wrong with putting your head down and saying, hey, I'm going to be here, and here's hoping we make all the right decisions. Is that naive? Maybe, but I'd rather go about my life doing the right thing that way than trying to chase a dream, and never get there.
I saw on SportsCenter yesterday they're having a panel of ex-NFL players talking about it, and one of the players, I believe it was Damian Woody, was defending this tactic and saying, this is good, and everything. Bill O'Brien ran that franchise into the ground. What's Deshaun Watson supposed to do? Damian, Deshaun Watson was front and center for Bill O'Brien running that franchise into the ground, and he signed that big money extension with Bill O'Brien as the guy running the show. So don't tell me now you're like, look what Bill O'Brien did to the franchise. You got the money out of the franchise when Bill O'Brien was there, so you obviously were complicit to it. You were okay with it.
Yeah, I think there's something more deep-rooted going on in Houston. When they were walking off the field at the Week 17, there was video of J.J. Watt going up to Deshaun Watson, putting his arm around you and saying they wasted another year of your career. Now, Andre Johnson, Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Texans, probably, Mr. Houston Texan when you think about it, had a tweet, and a lot of his former teammates said, if AJ, meaning Andre Johnson, is tripping like this, something's up because he's one of the coolest, calmest, collected dudes in the NFL. He tweeted, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I will stand my ground. The Texans organization is known for wasting players' careers. Since Jack Easterby has walked into the building, nothing good has happened in or for the organization, and for some reason, someone can't seem to see what's going on. Pathetic. I think it's just reading between the lines here, I think there's a toxic environment in Houston, and I don't fault Deshaun Watson at all.
I fault Deshaun Watson for signing a contract knowing that he was buying a ticket on the Titanic.
Yes.
But what's he supposed to do, not sign the contract?
Yes. You don't sign the contract then.
That's crazy to me.
It's kind of like when someone gives you betting advice and you take it and then blame the person.
Wait. So, Pat, in other words, you should say, somebody should say, I know my work environment sucks. I know this is a terrible place to work, but they're willing to give me guaranteed money that I get to cash that check. So I'm going to take their money and then ask to be let out of the contract or make such a stink that I demand my way out.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done this quietly. He could have asked for a trade out and said, I'm not going to re-up. I mean, and I would have understood it.
Yes.
And I'd side with him, too, if he had signed the contract before Bill O'Brien sold, everything for Magic Beans. But he didn't. He signed it afterwards.
He knew the status of the organization.
But if you believe in let's say he wanted to give his heart to the Houston Texans and he believed things were going to be different and they were going to change and things were going to be better, don't you have to kind of hope that it's going to change?
Guess what? You hope it's going to change.
I'm on Watson's side here. I think there's something deep with this organization.
Well, why can't you be part of the solution instead of running away and saying, forget it, I'm going away? Like you signed
That's why I think there's more going on.
Okay. Your best bet, sorry, John. Your best bet, all right, I'll be Deshaun Watson, I'll step back. What's our best bet for us to become winning again? Oh, it's me. Right?
Well, and also for 4 years, there's been no offensive line, and they haven't helped. And
don't take the guaranteed money. You're saying
that's
for
crazy.
4 years. You're saying for 4 years. He just signed this damn contract.
If one of your kids was offered that guaranteed contract, you'd tell them not to take it.
Guess what? I would absolutely tell my kid when right now that we had something in her upbringing where she wanted to quit something, and I said flat out, you don't quit. You made a commitment. Enter the commitment. Once the commitment's over, you don't have to ever do it again. But yes, we honor our commitments. And more importantly, he knew how dysfunctional the Houston
he may have
when he
been.
signed it, but he wanted his money.
I think he
and
would
now he wants out.
have to be checked into an asylum if he turned down that money.
Getting yours is the American way.
But at any cost, your integrity, it doesn't matter.
Well, you know me. I lean on the side of do the good right thing, but I hear what Jamie's saying, and a lot of callers say the same thing. Get yours, and don't worry. At least he cares enough, John. Let's put it this way. At least Deshaun Watson cares enough to say, damn, I want to win, and you guys aren't doing it. I want out.
Tyree joins us from the Northeast. Tyree, good morning. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I can't disagree with you more, John. I'm being honest with you. I'm sitting here watching this whole – first off, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I don't care if I sign that contract. The minute that Bill O'Brien gets rid of DeAndre Hopkins because he doesn't like his
signed it
mom,
after. He signed it after that.
And not only that, real quick, I just looked it up, right? You said, he took the guaranteed money and all that. You know, he's like the 19th highest paid person in the NFL. And I'm not saying that to say Deshaun Watson deserves top 10 money. But the way you put it out there was like,
that's because the money. That's because the money, as far as you're judging about where his guaranteed money, he was fantastically paid, and more importantly, he signed that contract, Tyree, after that move was made by Bill O'Brien. He didn't sign it before. It's not like they did a bait and switch. He saw that and decided, I get it. L joins us. L, what's going on?
I get your point, but honestly, I don't care. The point for me, the NFL, they every day they don't honor contracts that they sign. I'm not going to be hypocritical and say it's okay for a team to get rid of a player because they don't perform. And then when the organization doesn't perform, all of a sudden the player has to be loyal and play out his contract. If Deshaun Watson was playing like the 32nd quarterback in the league, nobody would bat an eye if they let him go.
Al,
so
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why do the NFL teams break contracts all the time?
Because people don't perform up to the level of payment.
And why are they allowed to do that?
Because they negotiated it.
And the NFLPA, every single member, every single.
And that doesn't make it right.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You can't. If I agree, no, it doesn't. No,
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
If you're going to tell me that I have to honor my contract, then you have to honor it too.
No, L, listen to me. Let's have a conversation, not let's shout over each other. I just signed a contract, okay? So if in my contract it was said that the Fanatic, anytime they wanted, could tell me to go out the door, but I had to honor the contract, and I signed that contract, and I know that's the wording in it, I'm not crying about it later saying somebody's screwing me over.
So to me, I don't see it as crying. I see it as a person using their leverage that they have to get out of an unfair contract.
They agreed to it, though, L. They agreed to that.
Somebody just tweeted in, and it's a really good point, I think, to counter where you're coming from. Silvio on Twitter says, if you're Deshaun, you have to take that money. Look what happened to Dak Prescott.
So you want both. You see, but you take the Houston Texans money, and now you want to screw over the Texans franchise and put them in salary cap hell for the next 2 years.
They could get a pretty big haul for Deshaun. I'm not going to cry poor for them.
They can't get out of the salary cap hell, Jamie. They can't
I haven't looked at their salary cap.
There's nothing that remedies that. It's like getting rid of Carson Wentz.
But if you're Deshaun and you look at what just happened to Dak Prescott, you go, that's exactly why I signed my contract. I took the long-term guarantee.
Wait a minute. It took Dak Prescott getting injured for somebody to understand
that?
No,
they already know that. That's why they do this.
Well, then what?
Any hand they can get back from ownership, they take, and I'm for it.
Why, though, couldn't he have just said, I'm not going to re-up, trade me? I mean, the idea, by the way, that they've also not given him weapons. They traded for Laramie Tunsil.
Amen.
They drafted Titus Howard.
Amen.
They took a center in the second round. They traded for Kenny Stills. They've tried to surround him with weapons. They've just done a poor job.
They've tried to do everything with it. Kyle in Trenton jumps in on the John Kincade Show. Good morning, Kyle.
Good morning. How are you going to say they try to do everything for him when they traded one of the top wide receivers in the league?
Kyle. He signed the contract and took the guarantee after that move was made. So obviously, So obviously he was okay with that being done because he was still willing to be a Houston Texan and take all that upfront money.
Okay, but he also said they haven't let him in on certain things that they said they was. So maybe they broke their contract that you don't know about.
Whoa, Kyle. Kyle, there's nothing in his by the way, no, because this is already done, and we can ask Adam Schefter. There's nothing in his contract that says he gets to have input on who the GM is, who the coach is, or otherwise. That's not in his contract.
And there's nothing in his contract that says he can't demand a trade.
Oh, he can demand a trade if he wants, and he can also. And he can also. Guess what though? They don't have to comply. I would hope that they'd let him sit and rot.
And he don't have to comply.
Yeah, and he doesn't get paid. That's fine.
I mean, the player's done it. He won't be the first.
And he'd have to pay his money back too. By the way.
Oh well, maybe that's what he chooses to do.
You think he would? You know, Kyle, that's not what he wants to do. He's pulling a James Harden. He's pulling a James Harden.
Yeah, pretty much.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. I want your upfront money. I want to work the system, and then I want to demand that your organization gets screwed over so I can go somewhere where I want to be.
Yeah, and I'm siding with the players on all of this, but in this situation, I do. I tend to side with the players on 98% of these arguments, but you sign the contract after the Titanic left and you see the iceberg ahead.
There's nobody who wasn't saying the Houston Texans. So I pull up a piece here. Most dysfunctional organization in the National Football League. The Houston Texans. This article is from December of 2018. 2018. And so this is something that Deshaun Watson knew exactly what he was signing up for. He knew exactly what he was saying. I'm committed to the Houston Texans. By the way, how about I'm looking forward to being the foundation of this organization for years to come. I'm looking forward to building in this community the brand of the Houston Texans and being able to do our good work in the community.
If there's one guy on this team that deserves it to demand a trade, it's J.J. Watt.
Yeah. First and foremost. But so the way he counters it to Deshaun Watson is he comes out and says, yes, I said that. But they aren't committed to me. They aren't committed to this team. That's why I've changed my mind.
Because they didn't let him choose. He wanted to choose the general manager.
They've made some horrible moves down there.
They have.
Horrible.
They have. And you know what? The vast majority of them were made before he signed this contract.
Yeah, it's a great talking point. It really is.
I think that's why it's something much more deep-rooted than we know. Like, I don't think this is, they didn't make the moves to make me happy. I think there's something that Andre Johnson tweet tells me it's bad ownership. And I'm not going to fault him for taking money from the bad man if that's what it is.
And then you demand to leave? You didn't have to take the money.
If I'm Deshaun Watson, yes, I did. Like, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm only looking out for me.
Really?
With that much money on the line?
Really?
Yeah. I have generational wealth that I can leave my great-grandkids.
So the John Kincade show gets really successful, and we all start making tons and tons of money.
I hear you with the team aspect.
You sign a new contract, you're going to say, nope, I got a chance to make I got a chance to go to another station.
I can't even compare us to what they do because it's
Is that your ceiling?
It's wealth that I can't get my head around.
Okay, with a great job in radio with immense wealth for radio by radio standards.
Sure.
That would be what I consider my ceiling. So that is the considering you can draw the comparison.
So you're saying if I got offered the radio equivalent of Deshaun Watson money somewhere else, yeah, I got to look out for Skyler and my family.
You just made a commitment here?
I mean, if the situation is good enough that I'm offered generational wealth, like that changes things.
You two are trying to marry oil and water.
I just don't think we're comparable.
You're trying to marry business with morality. And it just doesn't.
Guess what? Sometimes
it works.
Sometimes I find myself going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
so I think you're making a good point there.
We've all had that conversation with ourselves.
Is the idea is that
it's one I'd have to sleep on for many nights.
I can tell you this: that I've had numerous opportunities in my life to break contracts, and I never have.
You're not everyone.
I get you, but I don't think that I'm abnormal either. I think that a lot of guys live their lives by a code like I do. That that my employers or my family or my friends, if I say I'm going to do something for you or if I make a commitment, I honor my commitment.
I hear you, but what does it say that Deshaun's teammates, like J.J. Watt is the leader of he's Mr. Texan, him and Andre Johnson, they've come out in support of him. So
wanting out of town, I don't see J.J. Watt saying he's in support of him.
He said to him, walking off the field this year, they wasted another year of yours.
That doesn't
he
say... He
apologized to him.
That doesn't say, get the hell out of here. You just signed a new contract.
It tells me something more is going on.
Let's see what Ray in Levittown has to say. Ray, welcome to the John Kincade Show. How are you, buddy?
Hey, guys. How are you this morning?
Good, man. What's going on?
Long-time Texans fan, and you guys hit the nail on the head that this organization just wastes the talent they have. And I'm at the point that if they trade Deshaun Watson, I will flat out just renounce them and pick a new team out of a hat.
How do you think? Guess what? By the way, we could do a radio stunt with that if you ever wanted to do that.
Ray's free agency.
I might take you up on that.
No, I think we'd have to put you into free agency. Is Ray? I mean, we'll put you into free agency.
That's fine.
We'll check back in with you, Ray. We're going to check back in with you because this looks like it's heading to divorce. I think everybody is seeing the NBA stars.
Yes, I've had this theory for a while.
Flexing their pecs, and now they want to do the same.
It happened in the NHL. Pierre-Luc Dubois was like, you know what? He pulled a James Harden. I respect it. He goes, you're not going to trade me? I'm going to go out there and basically just be a pylon. And they had to trade him.
You've just lost 95% of the audience with the Pierre.
I have no idea who that is.
My point is,
was there no soccer reference you could have given us?
My point is, the NBA mentality is transferring over to other sports.
Yes. I think it is. Look who's here. Chris in Atlanta. No, I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. Chris in Atlanta. How are you, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
What are you up to, Chris?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm listening to the show, and I think, John, you're missing one key part. Like, I'm in Atlanta now. I know you just moved from Atlanta, but I'm a Philadelphian at heart, born and raised.
Glad to have you there.
You're talking to a blue-collar city, hard-working blue-collar city, and you're trying to get them to realize that signing a piece of paper is above all. I mean, I think he made a great point when he was talking about morality mixed with the with the morality mixed with fact or whatever. And I think that's the biggest point. Yeah,
Chris. Here's the thing though is that in a one thing I know about my hometown here. One thing I know is that people usually do their word does mean something. Usually, a handshake means something.
It does, but I mean, when you're talking about generational wealth, like everybody's talking about, I mean, some things you gotta. You mean like a piece of paper? It's a piece of paper.
Okay. Well, that's different between me and you. That's different. I mean, we just have a different opinion on it. And the Parx Sportsbook mobile app is fantastic for you. The best live action. You can download the Parx Casino Sportsbook app and Parx Online Casino. If you got a gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER. This is interesting. We got a lot of people that seem to want to talk about this. And if you do want to get in, we will make time for you at 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Just a reminder, the Flyers and the Devils tonight are going to come your way at 7 o'clock here on The Fanatic. And I know a lot of you on a day like this where it's going to be wet and cold, I know what Jamie wants. Wawa and barbecue brisket.
Oh, hell yeah. Tell me about brioche.
Enjoy brisket on a brioche bun.
Oh, brioche.
Or in a bowl today. Gotta have a Wawa. I gotta tell you, though, the whole bowl thing.
Bowls are great.
I understand, but who's passing on a brioche bun with brisket?
I hear you, but sometimes, if you're a little bloated from Sunday eating and Monday rolls around.
Bob, I don't see you as a bowl.
Oh, I love bowl.
I like the bowl you can eat.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no, you like the bread bowl?
I love the bread bowl.
I'm a bowl guy.
You know what? The most underrated bowl? A tuna poke bowl. Oof.
I do not even know what that is. I know Pokemon.
My dad called it bait, but it's delicious.
Really? Into all this stuff. If you want to get in, jump in on board with us, 610-632-0975. I would say the official opinion right now is I'm getting my ass kicked. On this, I would just tell you 610-632-0975. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Right now, are heating and cooling bills with your home starting to kick your butt a little bit? My friends at Window Nation want you to address a major problem with your home now, and they know that money's a little tight. So here's the idea. How about if they said you're going to get new windows in your home and you're not going to pay for them until 2023? You got that right. You're not paying any money down, no down payment, no interest, 2 full years. And they're also going to give you 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. Buy 10, get 10. Buy 20, get 20. Get the idea? Use this savings. It's amazing. Call today. Make no payments until 2023. Call 866-90-NATION. Or I so nuttily tell you to go window shopping at windownation.com. Think of how beautiful your home could be, how energy efficient your home could be, and how much that money in your pocket would help right now. So make the call today. Call 866-90-NATION. Check out their entire inventory at windownation.com and tell them Kincade from The Fanatic sent you.
The John Kincade Show.
You can't just tag no offense on the end of something horribly offensive and act like it's okay.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Now a backhand shot. They score! On the backhand, it's Travis Konechny.
Flyers, Devils, tonight at 7 on your home for Flyers hockey. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Flyers hockey is brought to you by Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Get a quote at geico.com.
I hate Steven Singer.
I get that a lot.
You know why?
Why?
Because unless I buy my gifts from Steven Singer Jewelers, my wife isn't satisfied.
So, how can I help you?
Well, how do you get away with advertising real roses you don't throw in the trash in a week?
They're my famous roses, dipped in pure 24-karat gold. They last forever.
Sounds expensive.
They start at just $59. Each one comes in a premium color and is shipped in our signature gift box with a love message from you.
Do I have to water it?
Nope, it's a real rose, and it's preserved in pure gold.
All right. How do I get one?
Easy. Just go to IHateStevenSinger.com.
Shipping.
It's free, and your rose is guaranteed for life.
What if she hates my personal love message?
Just pick one from our online list.
Just click on IHateStevenSinger.com to see the entire collection of real roses dipped in 24-karat gold. No matter how you feel about Steven Singer, she'll love it.
Do you still hate me?
Absolutely.
Does it feel like finding clothes in your fit is impossible? Tired of feeling overwhelmed with options that just aren't right? Let the experts at Stitch Fix do the shopping for you. At Stitch Fix, we make sure each piece is hand-selected for your life. So whether you're staying home or on the go, Stitch Fix has the answer for what to wear. We make it easy to find what works for you. Signing up takes just a few minutes, and styles are delivered directly to your door. Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, your style delivered.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next. And bounce forward. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on. This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
The success of Janet's meal prep business is keeping her from keeping up with customer appetites.
Paleo Prep Meals, this is Janet. Yep, you just reheat. But we actually have a wait list currently. Oh, can you hold on one sec?
She needs to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55, is bringing back their golden ticket giveaway with up to $55 million in prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is enter DraftKings' free Super Bowl prediction challenge. Once you submit your picks, you'll get a free instant prize up to $25,000. Download the DraftKings app now and use code KJZ. That's code KJZ. Only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55. Terms, conditions, and eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Buonasera. Buonasera. How can I make the most of waiting for my next big vacation?
Translate your questions into goals by investing with Merrill Edge Self-Directed. It's more accessible than you think, with helpful planning tools plus free online stock and ETF trades, so you can keep practicing your pronunciation. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC. Other fees may apply. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
O'Reilly. It's that time of year again when you never know what the weather will bring. O'Reilly Auto Parts has everything you'll need to be prepared. Right now, save $10 on 2 Trico Titan wiper blades. Plus, we'll even install them for free. Experienced improved visibility in all weather conditions with long-life wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Happy Hour and Bob Cooney on a Tuesday night. Check out Beers with Bob. This and every Tuesday night at 6.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Bob Cooney and Andrew Salchunas go around the world of sports, bringing you updates and breaking news, plus all the betting lines you need. It's Beers with Bob on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
When the winters are mild, the deals are wild. Gary Barbera knows how to sell a Jeep cheap. $199 down or $199 a month. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Hey, it's John Kincade from my friends at T-Mobile. I'm so glad to welcome them into the 97.5 The Fanatic family and to be able to sing their praises because I have been a legitimate customer as long as T-Mobile's existed. Why? I don't have to hop around from company to company to get the best rates and the best service because I've already got it. But during COVID, it's been amazing to me. First of all, I've been learning to cook, so I've had to use my T-Mobile device in the kitchen. And with T-Mobile and Sprint merging, I've got their best network ever right here in Philadelphia. They've added 1 million square miles nationwide of expanded LTE coverage. So they got more towers, more engineers, and more coverage than ever before. I love my T-Mobile devices, and you will too. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com to learn more today. So please, give T-Mobile a chance to win your business. I can tell you this, they won mine a long time ago, and I've never left. Why? Because when you get the best service at the best prices, it's the best network. Check out my friends at T-Mobile and tell them that John Kincade from 97.5 The Fanatic sent you. Visit T-Mobile.com to learn more today. And a reminder, coverage is not available in some areas.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Thank God this is radio, or you'd have to be looking at my face.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Thanks so much for being a part of the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Bad news, Jamie. Dan Patrick's show just called. Dan was saying, would you mind stepping in for me when I retire? So I'm leaving. Because I just got to worry about my family first.
See ya.
It's unbelievable.
So does that mean your chair's up for grabs?
John,
get me in there!
You opportunist son of a... Hey, thanks so much for making time for us every day. We love it when you jump in. And Bob, you brought up a really good point. And so one of my very good friends in Atlanta is listening this morning, watching on the YouTube channel, and says Bob Cooney is already breaking the code on John Kincade in a matter of a month. And definitely there are times in discussions where it's like I don't want to be a moralist, but I fall into that category on an issue. And he says he's already breaking the code on you.
He's a good reader of people.
They'd bust my balls on that. They'd go, John, not everybody is you. Not everybody's Dudley Do-Right. Not everybody is, there's very little gray area with me. And I consider it a character weakness of mine that I don't explore gray area often, and I try to do a little bit more of it as I've gotten older. But this guy says, boy, Bob's breaking the code on you already, and he's only known you for a month and a half.
I'm sort of with you on that. Like, black and white is what it is.
Good, bad, yes, no.
Yes, exactly. But, I have learned through life that, morality and what euphoria isn't going to happen oftentimes. And
Yes.
what you were stating was that. Like, no, he made a commitment, and I understand that. And, like,
He
to my
just
core,
made a commitment, too.
I believe in that.
Sounds
but
great.
I totally, exactly. Like Jamie said to me, when we were just taking a walk, he's like, all right, your son Kyle's making $1 million working for the Nets. Sixers offer him $10 million. You're not going to tell him to jump ship? In its simplest terms, boom, there it is. But I understand what you're saying. If he has a 4-year commitment to the Nets and he signed a contract, ideally I'd like to see him play that out and then get the $10 million from somebody else.
But there's no guarantee that $10 million is going to be there in 4 years.
Exactly.
Hey, Provolone Joe.
A very funny guy.
In. By the way, provolone, probably my favorite sandwich cheese, no question.
I think, it's
provolone.
up there. Yeah.
Provolone Joe saying marriage is a contract and it's broken every day. Okay.
Doesn't make it
Explain
right.
to me how that affects your work. How does it affect? This is affecting what Deshaun Watson is doing. Not necessarily. That may be the reason that the marriage is breaking down. Yeah, it doesn't
look
have to
at me
be
when
your
you say
bedroom.
that.
You'd be wondering what Deshaun Watson is doing is affecting the livelihoods of hundreds of people, ticket salespeople, marketing people, guys on the roster.
It's NFL.
And by the way,
it's crack.
Gentleman saying here, though I completely agree with Jamie, Steven, though I completely agree with Jamie's point of view on the Deshaun Watson situation. I'm a Houston Texan fan, living here in Ambler. He spelled or it autocorrected, not Ambler. He says, I'm living here in Ambler. He said, no one in the locker room has come out and publicly supported his desire to leave. He said that's the only thing he's saying in my defense. He goes, the other guys in that locker room aren't saying, Deshaun, you go get yours.
Oh, I'm not saying
you just put this organization into salary cap hell, and now you want out?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not saying it's a good thing for his teammates or a fan. If I'm a fan of the Texans, it sucks. But
well, he thought that you were trying to make the point that J.J. Watt was saying, go get yours, get out of here. And that's BS.
No, he said they wasted another season of yours. That's all he said.
And that happens.
And but then Andre Johnson saying that, this is what they
retired.
Do. I hear you, but a lot of teammates came out and said, if Andre Johnson's talking like this, something's up.
If you want to get in with us, you can still on it at 610-632-0975. We're going to roll into Cooney's Corner because there is a position that Bob believes that the Eagles need more depth in.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Well, there's a lot of them, right?
Yes, there is.
I mean, there's a lot of them. But then...
Where's the most, though?
When they started making these hires, and this probably isn't the most, but it's one that rung in my head like, oh, wow, they're going to have to address that now. And it's the position that I said to you earlier, well, it's kind of the position you say, we're okay there, so we'll address that later, but boom, boom. If they're going to go to a short passing game and they're going to go to more of a running game, Miles Sanders needs help. Because I said this at the beginning of the last year, and Jamie, I think you agreed with me. It's idiotic to go into a season thinking that the 1-2 punch of Miles Sanders and Boston Scott is okay. You're a tweaked ankle, which he's had, a sore knee, which he's had, away from Boston Scott being your number one running back. I'm sorry. I like him as maybe a third guy, fourth guy on a depth chart, running back-wise, Boston Scott. You have to address this running back situation if indeed maybe the pacifier of this team is going to be the running game and the short passing game.
Is a veteran running back, it's my desire, is a veteran
I mean, I don't think they'll be able to swing it, but a guy like Mark Ingram is absolutely perfect in my opinion. He's a little bit older. He's probably not going to break the bank exactly. Unfortunately, the Eagles don't have much of a bank right now, but he can catch that ball. He can be that power rusher. He can be the perfect complement to Miles Sanders. Yeah, I agree. Boston Scott to me is a third-string running back, and that's a great situation, but they need to upgrade that.
And as John said earlier, rightfully so, you haven't been all that impressed, or as impressed as you should be maybe, with Miles Sanders just yet.
I know.
So not only talking about a backup, but maybe a guy that also, gives him a break once in a while because he's not performing.
I mean, is right now, am I missing something, Pat? I know that even if I was down 750 miles, or when I was in attendance, I saw the same Eagles games. Am I missing something on Miles Sanders?
I love him.
I mean, I've seen moments.
Yeah, he had a
seen
disappointing
glimpses.
year. It kind of reminds me of Dallas Goedert, where you were waiting for him to take the next step, and he didn't. And you still have some question marks. The issue is they're in salary cap hell, and you're relying on kind of a veteran running back to take a deal here that's probably not going to be a great one. Normally, they're willing to take that deal because Philadelphia is known as a team you can compete with. But they're coming off 4 wins. What running back is going to take a less deal to play for this team?
And they can't afford. You can't paying running backs.
No, you can't.
Paying running backs is a losing proposition anyway.
It is.
Yes, it is.
And it's a fun, and the reason I brought this up, because if we're all drafting a team, we love looking at running backs and wide receivers.
Because you can get them in the 4th and 5th rounds.
And it's a skill position thing, so that's why I put this out there, because we probably know off the top of our head, like Jamie, you just did, 5, 6, 7 running backs that might be available that you might like. But they're going to have to dig into this. They have to get depth at a position, and it looks like they're offensively going to count on more this year.
And, John, to your point about what are you missing, I love the kid. I think he's a home run hitter waiting to happen. I think when you look, we're talking about his past season. I know Pro Bowler isn't everything. It's a popularity contest, yada, yada. His bad season was a Pro Bowl season. I think he was a product of a bad team this year. Carson Wentz couldn't get him a ball accurately. He dropped 400 yards in receiving this year. And then the offensive line on top of it, it was just a compounded disaster.
Let LaBruciana Roofing address your minor roofing problems now before the harsh weather creates a major issue, and it's all coming. Call the Shingle Master. LaBruciana Roofing. Go to PARoofPros.com. I have a challenge put out to you here by one of our listeners in Cheltenham. Scott says he wants it on the record right now for the entire show. If Carson Wentz does to the Eagles what Deshaun Watson's doing to the Texans, he doesn't want to hear you criticize Carson Wentz ever about it.
There's a big difference.
Why?
Deshaun Watson's still good. Carson Wentz is coming off a career terrible season.
So now there's a parameter on it.
There's
a parameter. So no. If you think that a player doing what's best for them, contract be damned.
I don't care if Carson Wentz out of here.
Well, then, okay, so if
he wants out, bye.
So if we pay the price for the next year and a half, 2 years,
that's Howie Roseman's fault.
You're okay with it.
That's Howie Roseman's fault.
You're not going to criticize Carson for it ever.
I think it's dumb to make those demands coming off of a crap year.
No.
See you, Carson. If he wants out, bye. I don't want you.
Player can do whatever he wants to do.
Then I don't
Jamie.
want you. If he doesn't want to be here, bye.
Then then that's it. Then that's it. So they shouldn't be complaining. Are you going to... If Carson Wentz does to the Eagles what everybody seems to be advocating on our phone lines for Deshaun Watson to do to the Texans, I don't want to hear one word about it. Player's getting his. Doesn't matter. Player's got to look out for himself.
It's a good point.
Same thing.
But Jamie's point also, I hear you're making parameters, but Deshaun Watson has more of a leg to stand on.
Yes.
No. He doesn't. He's leaving an organization.
I don't like either one. Like, look, I understand it, but just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't understand. I don't like guys saying, screw you, I got my money, I'm out. I just morality says no, but I understand it.
I saw Jamie walk in with a tool belt on. I guess he was ready to try to do his makeover or fixer-upper on the Philadelphia Eagles. So, Jamie, your perspective on this roster?
I don't think it's a complete teardown. I think this is a fixer-upper. I think there's still some good bones, but you have to fix it up while also planning for the future.
Yes.
So the drywall's coming down, a fresh coat of paint's going up. Maybe I'm putting a chair rail in the dining room. I'm putting some crown molding up. But the bones are good. You have to also plan for those bones to go bad in the next 2 years. But when I see this offense and I visualize a Devontae Smith or a Jamar Chase being added to it, and I'm working on the assumption here that Carson Wentz isn't a complete chode again. He gets the ball out of his hand, and, quarterback's a efficient offense. I think it's much more salvageable than people think it is. I would add a linebacker. I would add a cornerback. I didn't think Jalen Mills was terrible this year. I'd like to draft a safety to have behind him in case that goes wrong again, but I'm okay with him on another 1-year deal. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people do think it is. Again, it all falls on the shoulders of 11.
I like how Jamie says he wasn't terrible.
Just terrible.
He was just terrible. If we can get him just to terrible next year, this would work.
First thing that hit my head, John, too.
He wasn't terrible. So unbelievable.
Cockeyed optimist.
I'm telling you.
I think the foundation's still okay.
Okay. So
Cut
we're
termites.
I don't think there's termites.
We're hearing a lot of different things about this Eagles roster, and a lot of people jumping in today at 610-632-0975. Okay. We have been remembering the passing of Kobe Bryant this morning on the show. And in the interview that I had the opportunity to conduct with Kobe and Shaq, I wanted you to hear a little more of it. This is from before Kobe's last year in the NBA, his 20th season. And one of the things I asked the guys is, okay, on the record, because I'd heard both of them say it off the air. Let's clear the air. Here's what it sounded like.
I think right now it's time to clear the air because I've said many times that we were the most enigmatic, controversial, most talked about, dominant 1-2 punch. I just want people to know that I don't hate you. I know you don't hate me. I called it today a work beef is what we had. I was young, you was young. But then as I look at it, we won 3 out of 4, so I don't really think a lot was done wrong. So I just wanted to clear the air and let everybody know that, no, I don't hate you. We had a lot of disagreements. We had a lot of arguments, but I think it both fueled us. And I was thinking back like the other day why Phil Jackson never really jumped in, because he knew that you say something about me, I get pissed off. I say something about you, you get pissed off. And again, it works. So thanks for coming on the show. I just wanted to clear the air. And I know we said a lot of crazy stuff, but I had fun doing it. Did you have fun doing it back in those days?
You know, it's funny, man. I did. But here's the thing is that, you know, what we did, our disagreements, what made those things special is that we said them to each other's face. And we didn't go behind each other's back and whisper to our teammates about this, that, and the other, right? Because that could just nothing but create friction, and it's cancerous to the team. When you get things out right in front of each other, you say what you think, and you have those disagreements, you agree to disagree, you move on, all of a sudden the integrity of the team is preserved. And then when you come out of that, and agreeing or whatever the case may be, then the team is all the more better for it, because now you have more momentum. And I think that's what really catapulted us, especially on that second championship.
Wow. I hope Carson Wentz was listening. Hope Carson Wentz is listening. Do you whisper down the lane? Do you say things through back channels? Or do you stand up and say what you mean and what you think and what you say? I mean, you got to say it. And the two of them constantly were getting in beefs with each other.
Oh, yeah.
And Phil Jackson, they both said in the interview, and you can, there's a longer form interview. I'm going to make it access for people to be able to hear it more long form. Phil Jackson never once intervened. Never once. Never once said, knock it off. Never once said, you're in the wrong on this one. He stayed out of it.
Is it just because he liked that competitive force that was in the locker room?
He thought they drove each other.
Yeah, and he was right.
Here's a good one. Kobe, I asked them both, what did they learn from each other? And I thought this was incredibly telling. Listen to this.
Shaq taught me how to lead, because he's amazing. You can see, as he is now, right? He's really outgoing, very gregarious. He puts his arm around guys. He always checks in with guys, always making sure that they're good. So I learned that from him, because I naturally wasn't like that.
And I learned from Kobe that Kobe was a guy that whatever he said he was going to do, from age 18, he was going to do it. I knew that from Kobe because me and Kobe, we came in together. We played on the team. We had a lot of upcoming superstars, but we were in Utah. Utah used to kill us all the time. Only one guy wanted to take the shot. I didn't want to take the shot. Nobody else wanted to take a shot. This guy took 3 major shots. He shot air balls, and I knew then, I was like, you know what? This guy's not afraid. He's going to be the man. So I knew that when I got in trouble, when I wasn't playing well, I knew that, he was going to say to himself, Shaq's not playing well. I have to step up my game.
I got to tell you this. Bob Cooney's Shaq. If you listen to that soundbite. Because Bob, as Kobe said, Shaq leads by checking in on people. Shaq leads by always checking in. Are you doing okay? How you doing? That's in your DNA. You and Shaq have this similar style.
There's a lot. I've often been compared to Shaq. That's not. I'll tell you what.
Shaq likes cartoons.
Yeah. I heard John Stockton.
The thing that I've really come to love about Kobe, and it started after he retired, and then it really carried over, and the more and more his life came to light after his death, is how smart he was.
Really smart.
And I don't say this, easily. Oh, the guys that let's all heap praise upon him. The children's thing that he did, where he won an Academy Award for, right? The way he speaks, the intellectual way he went about basketball was a way that we rarely see in sports and in life. And I'm not overpraising a guy because he was an athlete or whatever, but this guy had that, and there's just he was so complex. And the limited time I saw him, here's a story for you, John. So he's a kid at Lower Merion, going to high school. Sixers are practicing at St. Joe's. That's where they were then. Scotty Rigo, the equipment manager then, who was still the equipment manager now, is loading up his car. Kobe used to come up and watch practice all the time. He rides his bike over. He says, Scotty, you need some help. They're loading sneakers into his car. And I think Scotty told me Kobe was like 15. And he said, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to become one of these guys? And when Scotty's telling me his story, he's like, Coon, he wasn't asking me as a 15-year-old kid. He was asking me as an adult, where can I take my career? And it was, it was telling. And it's Kobe has really grasped me. He grasped me as an athlete when I was covering the league, but he's really grasped my attention both after retirement and in death about how smart and how cerebral he was.
One of my favorite stories about Kobe is Donnie Carr when he passed just a year ago. It was probably next week this year or last year. Donnie Carr called up, and, they used to run pickup all the time together. They were workout buddies. And they were headed to Princeton University for I believe the ABCD camp. And Tim Thomas from Paterson, New Jersey, former Villanova Wildcat, was the number 1 recruit in their class that year. And Donnie Carr said he got to camp, and Kobe said, Don, I love you. I'll see you at the end of camp. And Don was like, what the hell are you talking about, Kobe? We got a week of basketball here. He said, I'm going into my room, and I'm coming out of this camp as the number 1 recruit in the country. And sure enough, Kobe went out, and he overtook Tim Thomas as the number 1 recruit in the country. That amount of drive and dedication and foresight to a career at that young of an age is pretty damn impressive.
We got some folks want to chime in on the Eagles teardown or sort of makeover. And Vinny in Fort Dix, New Jersey joins us. Vinny, good morning. Welcome to the John Kincade Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody?
Great to have you on the show.
Hey, appreciate it. Hey, so, I agree with Jamie. As far as tear down, rebuild, I would say that, in the season, it was brutal to watch last year, but it was probably the best thing that happened to the Eagles organization because it got rid of Doug Peterson. And I don't think anybody was able to flourish on that team, whether it was a Rager, whether it was a Miles Sanders, whether it was anybody, for the fact that all the work that went in all week from all the other coaching staffs, the 3 tiers, special teams, defense, offense, Doug just went out there and did what he wanted to do. And I think a few simple corrections, like rolling Carson out, handing the ball off. We averaged 5 yards a carry. Like those little things, which, again, in the season, I was so just, blowing stuff at the TV. But now I'm just like, yeah, it's probably the best thing that happened. Because
You're blaming it all on Doug. You're putting it all on Doug's lap.
Man after my own heart.
I can't do that.
No, I'm not.
I'm not doing that one.
But
Mark in Mount Airy jumps in. Mark, welcome to the John Kincade Show. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey,
happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, so, but I have to tear you down here, Bob. I disagree with you and Jamie. You said that it's a bunch of what ifs with this team at 4-11. And I got to tell you, at 4-11, there are no what ifs. You know what it is. It's terrible. It has to go. You have to replace it. You're looking at termite rot. You have to do something about that. Now, with this team, what you guys are talking about is the same formula that they've always had. You're talking about bringing Jason Peters back again. You're talking about bringing Darren Sproles back 2 years in a row and expecting him to magically be healthy again. The Eagles have been doing this. So that's what you guys are talking about.
And they're going to do it again, Mark.
No.
They're going to do it again.
Stop it. Don't fall into his trap, John. Don't.
No, it's exactly what I think.
We're not saying to bring back Darren. Look, this is a young team at its core. We're saying that if Brandon, the only 2 people we said were Brandon and Lane Johnson. What else are you going to put there? If they come back healthy, good. You throw them in there, and we both said that. I said you're doing a major tune-up. I'm not saying you bring all the old guys. You know what? Let's bring on Alshon Jeffrey. Let's go.
No, I don't think anyone's calling for that.
No, I know, but we're not saying that. We're not saying your key pieces, but the pieces that you have to bring back, you have to bring back.
Get on in with us if you wish at 610-632-0975. Coming up, I'm having separation anxiety. Not from my wife and daughter. From something
you
else.
are.
I am.
Yes.
But something else. We'll get to it next. Final hour of the John Kincade Show comes your way here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks, and one of the many reasons why is their innovative parlays. Check this out. They have one-game parlays allowing you to make over 400 bet types in a single game. It's probably my favorite feature of BetMGM. So you pick one game, and you can construct an entire parlay, including team props, player props, spreads, money line, you name it. Log into your BetMGM account and raise the stakes with one-game parlays for your chance to win big. It's fast, incredibly easy, and fun. BetMGM has brought the fun back to parlays. If you're new to BetMGM, you can sign up today and make every play of every game matter more than ever. You can enjoy pro football, soccer, NBA games, all of that with single game parlays. And the good news is more sports are soon to come. So I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I did it with the Sixers game, and the Sixers did me dirty. But it made a bad game worth watching, and I'll be doing it again tonight. I've been pretty much doing it every night because it makes watching sports better. The beauty of one-game parlays is it allows you to just kick back and enjoy the game. You don't have to bounce around trying to keep track of your parlays. Log in today or download the BetMGM app to try one-game parlays and turn game day into payday. BetMGM, in partnership with Hollywood Casino Morgantown. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Pennsylvania only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
God, I am so sick of this crap.
Is this the show?
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
When you're in the mood for comfort food, Wawa has you covered. Try our savory brisket, made from the finest cuts of beef, hand-trimmed and slowly braised to perfection. Savor the richness of the tangy barbecue and layers of tender beef. Enjoy your brisket on a brioche bun or in a hearty bowl. Wintertime is the right time for barbecue brisket from Wawa. Order yours today, in-store or on the Wawa app. Gotta have a Wawa. Wawa has such a wide variety of roasts and blends of your favorite flavors of coffee. For the late nighter at work that just became an all-nighter. For when you have a full day of video conference calls, you need full-bodied roasts and blends. Now, for a limited time, try our Winter Reserve Blend, a specialty-grade blend sourced from the world's finest coffee regions. Wawa coffee is 100% sustainable and 100% there for you. Thinking coffee? Think Wawa.
Hey, it's Kaz. Listen, with football playoffs winding down, it's time to get started on your New Year's resolution of finally losing that extra COVID fat. Don't spend another year struggling. Since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's highly successful program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep it off for the rest of your life. You're not sure if you can do it alone? NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You also get the doctor's personal email and phone number with locations close by in Princeton and Cherry Hill. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. Don't want to leave your home? NJ Diet is also available with live online video consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to njdiet.com and lose the weight for good. That's njdiet.com.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck. So you ordered the essentials. A power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck addition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Pro Extra is the Home Depot's free loyalty program built for pros. Members earn perks just for shopping, like new Pro Extra dollars or tool rental perks. Get exclusive benefits every day that save time and money. And here's an extra, $20 off your next in-store purchase of $200 or more, just for signing up. Want to save? Join Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Visit the Pro Desk in-store at homedepot.com/Pro Extra for details.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55, is bringing back their golden ticket giveaway with up to $55 million in prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is enter DraftKings' free Super Bowl prediction challenge. Once you submit your picks, you'll get a free instant prize up to $25,000. Download the DraftKings app now and use code KJZ. That's code KJZ. Only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55. Terms, conditions, and eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to comcastbusiness.com to learn more.
For the big game, there's one thing everyone can agree on. Fresh, soft pretzels. Go to PhillyPretzelFactory.com now and order your pretzel tray. You can't forget the pretzels, and there's bound to be a Philly Pretzel Factory near you. Go to PhillyPretzelFactory.com to find your location. Score the extra point with your choice of dips, from cheese to chocolate to super hot mustard. You and your pretzel tray will be the real MVP of the game. Philly Pretzel Factory, where better gets made.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole-in-one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
What's up, guys? Andrew Salchunas here. The next time you're watching basketball, I've got the perfect way for you to get in on the action for free. I'm talking about NBA In-Play. It's absolutely free to play on the FanDuel app and features all of the fun of live betting. NBA In-Play turns every quarter of every game into a free contest where you can win real cash prizes. So while you're watching the game, all you have to do is predict the outcomes of plays and game props before they happen to claim your share of the prize pool. Best of all, a new contest starts every quarter of every game, giving you even more ways to win. FanDuel is the exclusive home for NBA In-Play, so the action is always available right at your fingertips on the FanDuel app. The app is so easy to use, and it takes less than 2 minutes to sign up. And it doesn't matter where you live or where you're traveling to, because NBA In-Play is available in every state.
Don't miss your shot. Get in the game and download the FanDuel app to start playing NBA In-Play today.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
It's spelled Kincade, Kincade. Just so you know when you're writing your complaint emails.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Thanks so much for hanging out with the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster. It's a bag. It's a dumpster in a bag. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. And for details, go to bagster.com so you can be a part of it. Cuz gives out yos. I want to give out a yo to Coach Joe of Roman Catholic fame out at Harcum. Coach Joe from Roman Catholic fame.
Nice.
So I want to make sure he gets some love there. Listening to the show, loves the show, and he says he has made the switch.
Atta guy, Coach Joe.
I don't know who Coach Joe normally listened to, but I'm glad they made the switch. If you'd like to cheat on your old morning show and make the full commitment to us, we've got plenty of opportunity for you to do that. As we begin this 9 o'clock hour, let me tell you this. I am having a real case of separation anxiety. And Bob says every time he says it, he says he knows that I'm thinking about my wife and daughter. And I am. I do miss seeing them on a daily basis, but this is another kind. I just realized by going back on my calendar, I am coming up on a calendar year since I've attended a live sporting event.
Wow.
I just realized the 2020 NFL season is the first one since I was a child when I did not attend an NFL game in person. My Uncle Bernie Flynn carried mail in Drexel Hill. was a usher for the Eagles. I believe it was section 511, if I remember correctly. And Uncle Bernie would sneak me into a game every year. Didn't sneak me in, walked me in the security gate, and would sit me on the stairs of his section. And then if there was an empty seat, I would slide into it. It was the highlight of every single football season. So I haven't missed seeing an Eagles game in person in over 4 decades till the 2020 season. I was never huge on attending NBA games in person, especially while I've been doing this job. But when I did, and I would make appointments to do so every other month, something like that, I always enjoyed it. No baseball games. I went a whole baseball season last year not attending a game. And I'm coming up on a calendar year since I've attended one. I'm starting to feel a disconnect, despite what I do for a living, that I turn to sports on television. And we get amazing access. I love to be able to visit a clubhouse and talk to a player. I love being able to go to a press box, meet some of my peers who cover a team, get some intelligence there. But for the fans listening to the show at home, anyone else struggling with this? Anyone else thinking, you know what, I don't need to go back? I can be perfectly happy in Section HD watching on television? I'm thinking the long-lasting ramifications of this pandemic are still very much to be determined when it comes to attending sports events. And that's where we begin the 9 o'clock hour. John Kincade Show with Bob Cooney on his birthday. Jamie Lynch and also Pat Egan and the coach, Eric Camille, running the show. Separation anxiety. It's almost a year. Bob, you attended games as a beat writer, as a guy doing these things, and practices and things like that. I don't know how guys who used to do your old job are dealing with it.
Oh,
Zoom?
It's got to be tough as hell. I mean, the best part of your job, meaning where you get the most information, where you connect with players most, are those off times, or when the uniforms aren't around. It's practice time. It's being on the road. It's being in the locker room, just, shooting the crap every day. To not be able to do that, it is so tough. And I admire these guys that are getting stories the way they do. It is so hard to do. But yeah, John, it's funny. You bring it up. And my friends and I have talked about this. Is it like, so Jamie's doing this a little bit. He's not drinking during the week. Like, you take back from it. You try to get yourself disciplined on something. So you stop doing it and you say, I'm going to stop, say, drinking for 30 days. Then it gets 30 days and you're like, I feel pretty good. Let me go some more. Is it now that you
don't get distracted?
No,
focus, Bob.
Yeah. So is it now that you haven't done it and you're like, oh, I'm okay just sitting at home? Or is it now you're more, I got to get back. I need that game again? I think it's going to be up to society to figure it out.
Jamie, open the door, would you please?
Sure.
Seems like something's being done here.
Hi.
He's coming in the room.
Happy birthday to you. We knew it was your birthday, Bob. Sorry, we're in the middle of a commercial break.
Wow. Unbelievable.
There you go, Bob. We Whoa! I got a half-eaten.
Wait a minute. That looks like.
Marissa, thank
wait
you
a
very
minute.
much.
I'm thinking. I smell a rat here.
No.
I'm thinking this is leftover birthday cake.
No. Why would you think that?
Listen, Preston and Steve are lighting cigars with hundreds.
Don't I at least get a tricycle or something?
And you're telling me Preston and Steve, who literally, I mean, they spent $100 putting rose petals out in the hallway from the elevator to their studio.
I'll take it.
And you're going to take Bob. I think it's very kind of our radio brethren here to step in.
Thank you very
and make
much.
sure of that.
We love Bob Cooney. We love you guys.
You are the best, Casey boy. Marissa, thank you.
And if Preston and Steve need money for lunch,
yes.
we can pass the hat. We can pass the hat. They must be on a fixed income. Yes. Thank you.
John.
Thank you.
All right.
There it love is. It. That's what you do when you live in a radio hallway.
Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, that's fine.
That's your higher brethren
fine.
right there.
It is, baby. There it goes. See, I missed the. It's look at that. That's leftover. Look, isn't that amazing? That's amazing. Jamie was supposed to bring cake today.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Did you forget, Jamie?
I'm good.
Way to go, Jamie.
That's amazing.
I'm good.
So, the idea, though, Jamie, to you, do you think you are likely to go back?
Not as much. I was pretty much down to one game a year when it was the playoffs.
Really?
I went to both because I was very fortunate. And
you're talking just Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to take D. But even Sixers, like, I didn't go a ton. I would maybe go 5-6 times a year. Flyers is maybe twice a year. Phillies is probably my most frequented because I like being outside in the sun and that whole vibe down there. I will probably dial it back some for
because
the near
of what
future.
Learned.
Yeah, just because I like being at home a lot. My double IPAs are free there.
Pat, where do you lean on this now? You were a guy who is a season ticket holder, too.
Yeah, I am a season ticket holder.
Your Phillies rep, by the way, does a great job. His name's Matt.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. And I got to figure out if they're signing JT Realmuto, if I'll be re-upping. But
Matt, maybe he was listening.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. I'll at least get a partial plan. I was listening to a better radio show. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, he got a little disgusted.
Yeah, got a little distracted by the cake.
Are you more likely to go back? Are you less likely to go back after pandemic? Do you miss going to games?
I do miss going to games. I miss going to games a lot. And I was actually planning on going to a game literally a week before sports shut down. With that said, though, it's going to take me probably a little bit. Like, everyone's going to have to be vaccinated in my house before I'm going to games.
Wow.
I'm a guy who had Philly season tickets, Sixer season tickets, and Temple season tickets. And until I get vaccinations, I'm going to be selling them.
So you're in a different place. I know that
I'm in a completely different place.
Yeah.
I'll flat out say it. I've been to, since March 1st of last year, I've been to Disney. I've been to Vegas twice. I've been to the beach in Florida. I've been back and forth to Philadelphia more times than I can mention as my mom was dying, and then interviewing for job and trying to get something set up here. And I can tell you it's been a different life living the pandemic in the South.
Sure.
Completely different existence. So to me, I'm pining because my life, other than the mask, was pretty much as normal. We never missed a day of work being in studio.
Right.
We went to the studio every single day. And by the way, everybody went to work every single day.
Sure.
So it's a different mindset with me. And I don't look at somebody else's mindset with this and say, like, Jamie with asthma.
Yeah.
Like, that would bother me. That would bother me as going, okay, I don't want to let some virus.
Yeah. Like, for example,
taking me away from my daughter.
My cousin Mike is getting married this summer, and the bachelor party email has fired up. Okay. And it appears it's been settled on New Orleans. And normally, if I get that email, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Weekend in New Orleans with my boys. Now I was like, oh, my God, Bourbon Street, so many people flying, staying in the French Quarter. Like, I view it differently now. Everything is through a different spectrum.
By the way, GW Fins. That's where you're having dinner.
All right. Lock it in.
GW Fins.
GW Fins. Let me make a note.
I think I ever had dinner there.
My favorite restaurant in the Quarter. And it's not one where it is the most exquisite seafood restaurant I've ever eaten at in any city in America.
I may have eaten there. One year we were there.
Fins.
One year we were there, and Emerald had just opened another restaurant, and we were lucky enough that somebody knew somebody. So
get you in.
Yeah, so a bunch of us went to that, which was unbelievable. But as far as food
derailed us there.
As far as food in New Orleans,
no. But my point was just it's just got a little weird feeling to it. Whereas in the past, I would have been so pumped.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I do look at it differently. I do look at it differently, and it's just been different. But I'm really missing the camaraderie of. I like to go to games early, use my press credential, have an opportunity to maybe go visit a clubhouse, visit the press box, rub elbows a bit, and I love to go sit in the stands. Like with friends who are going to the game or something like that.
Because the press box sucks.
I love doing that because press boxes suck. Yeah. People always think it's the greatest thing in the world.
No.
It is not. It's honestly, it's the worst thing about
terrible.
It's the worst thing about our job is that you can go to these games, but they want you to sit in a press box.
Yeah, it's funny. Covering games for as many years as I did, and I'm talking all sports, made me appreciate going to games as a fan a lot more. Like, seriously, I loved taking my kids to games when I could have gone by myself. I could have gone with my press credential, but I loved walking in with them. Or we went to the Eagles playoff game last year, and I think that was the last game I went to, John. We went to the Eagles playoff game against Seattle last year, me and my boys from high school, and it was just great to go there because I'm just there having fun and not having to work.
In the linchpin I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie Lynch annoys some people this morning.
This is the Lynchpin.
Coach K was a total J.O. this past week. And he's walking, as you alerted me, he's walked it back now because it's become public. So if you missed it, Duke is having a bad year. As I mentioned last week, it was the first time in 59 years that Duke, UNC, and Kentucky weren't ranked. So, the blue bloods of college basketball have fallen on some hard times, and it's not avoiding Duke. And after the game last week, I don't know if this is something they do after every game or if it was a special game where some student... This kid was an economics major, so he wasn't a journalism communications kid. So they opened it up for some student questions after the game, and Coach K, rightfully so, was getting dragged through the mud. But Bob has been in these situations a lot, so I want to ask him his expertise. But here's Coach K after a loss the other night.
Hi, Coach. I'm just curious as to what the next step forward here is for the team as you guys move into another week of basketball.
Yeah, why don't we just evaluate this game? I'm not into what our next step forward is right now. We just finished a hard-fought game. Yeah, I don't know if, what's your major? What's your major at Duke? What's your hardest class?
Econ.
Okay, so say you just had the toughest econ test in the world. And when you walked out, somebody asked you, what's your next step? You see what I mean? You have some empathy and...
Oh, jeez.
Just give us time to evaluate this game, and then we'll figure out, just like we always try to do.
I'm not saying it's a war crime.
The next step, obviously, is to prepare for Georgia Tech.
But
how we prepare for them, that's what we're going to have to figure out.
How hard is it to just give your vanilla coach's answer there?
Have some empathy?
Nobody died.
Are
It's
you
a
serious?
basketball game.
You are such a pompous ass. I mean, seriously. That is such a pompous ass answer. And more importantly, don't agree to take questions from students if you don't want to answer the questions, and be slightly respectful. He's such a pompous dude.
I would have loved for the kid to come back, and I don't blame him for not to, saying, if I walked out of an econ test and somebody said, what do you have next? I would say, well, I have to go to my other class, so I'm going to go study for that for an hour because I have another test. You're a grown-up. Can't you look forward after you're done one thing to another? I'm 19. What are you talking about?
I'm surprised Coach K's back's not flaring up on him. Because that's what usually happens in a bad season. There's usually, I got to take some time off. My back's flaring up. I don't want these losses counting on my record. I'm surprised. I'll tell you this. It sums him up. I really believe it. I believe I believe you can be great at your job. You can be great at what you do. And you can carry yourself like a pompous ass.
Oh, I can name some people.
Yes. It's true. There it works. It works.
It was just completely unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, it was just completely avoidable. You didn't have to be a J.O. about it, especially to a 19-year-old kid.
Number one thing I watch with people, if I'm out in public with people, how do they treat people who are, quote-unquote, at the moment below them on the food chain?
Sure.
How do you treat waiters?
Yep.
How do you treat bartenders? How do you treat waitresses? How do you treat the guy sweeping the floors?
Mm-hmm. How Jamie treats his butler.
Exactly. Like when you deal with your staff, Jamie. How do you deal with that?
Oh, I give him Christmas presents. I'm great to them.
It is the number one thing that can tell me somebody's a bad person.
Sure.
And if you have to think about how you're treating somebody then you're already in the wrong.
You're
like, why do I even have to think about not saying hi to a guy that's sweeping a floor? Because he's sweeping? Who cares?
It went viral. It went viral before Duke got home.
Uh-huh.
And then he reached out to the student.
Of course.
Let me reach out to the student and fix this.
Yeah,
please.
Look, we all have our moments where, all right, you say something, you do something. He was acting on a tough loss. I am not sticking up for him. But Mike Krzyzewski at 73 years old should be able to sit back in the moment and think out a processed thought to a 19-year-old
I swear to you this, it is my number one objective all the time when I think about work environments and otherwise. Encourage people that are quote-unquote below you.
There's nobody below me. That's the way I go through life, and I'm not kidding.
Encourage people. get to know people, talk to people, find out, well, what is your goal? What are you working towards? What do you want to do? How can we get you to do more stuff? Coach K's just...
Yeah, it was just a weird look. Weird look.
Look, Coach K screams Duke, right? Like,
Yes,
that is the
it is
arrogant
Duke,
look
yes.
of Duke.
Yes.
I mean, like, give the kid a chalk answer, a cookie cutter answer, and move on.
By the way, have you been, I don't know if any of you, you probably have. You've been to Cameron?
No, I
For a
have
game?
not.
I have not either.
Okay, it is, I twice in the business world got tickets to Cameron Indoor Stadium and paid a fortune to do it in order to get ink, in order to get a contract done, signed. In the technology triangles, they call it down there.
Sure.
We were in right next to us was the student section where we got set up. And there were these sheets of paper that got sort of thrown on the ground. And at halftime, I go over and grab one of these sheets of paper from the student section. They literally have in the student section at Duke, Bob Cooney's mom's name is Martha.
Huh.
When he gets the ball, chant Martha. They had somebody's girlfriend's name.
Yeah.
Mentioned this guy's girlfriend's name. He goes to North Carolina. It was Duke, North Carolina, which was awesome.
Yeah, I bet.
Here's his girlfriend's name. They had a dead relative's name for one player.
That's a little far.
That's too much.
And it was on a sheet of paper inside that stadium, and kids chanted in the second half. I knew what they were chanting.
Coach says he doesn't believe it.
Oh, Coach is a huge
the ultimate
Dookie.
Duke fan, says he doesn't believe it.
Guess what, Coach?
Right next to his Taylor Swift photo in his office, I think, is a Duke banner.
I think that is. He said,
Love one, love two.
You love Wawa? You love brisket?
Tell me about that brioche,
You love
John.
brisket on a brioche bun? Be like Jamie Lynch. Roll into a Wawa today after the show and get yourself a little bit of Wawa. By the way, one of the most beautiful things about being back in town.
I bet.
Wawa is exceptional. Wawa is just exceptional. It is a, I love the spots. I love spots where I can guarantee I can walk into a place and know that I'm going to come out satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
The Chinese massage parlor, and all of the. And all
take
of
it
the
easy,
great
Robert
local
Kraft.
places
Politically.
there. It's not. No, it isn't. I mean, it's what happens. There are. Robert Kraft cleaned that up, by the way. Did you see?
Wait, he was mopping the floors?
I'm not going to say. Do you know he went to the massage parlor and he's off. No, I didn't.
That's the whole goal, Johnny. That's the whole goal.
I would hope so. He paid for it.
But you know that they placed the camera illegally.
Yes,
That's how he got off.
I don't know if there was video of that.
Nice. Can't get this thing
But
up.
he got. They placed the camera illegally. So I forget what the place was called.
Orchids of Asia.
Orchids of Asia.
Yeah, so it was my fantasy football team name.
Was it really? Your words. Is that but because how do you set up a sting operation
Illegally? It's dumb.
and set up the camera illegally?
Yeah, that's really
makes
dumb.
no sense.
You should talk about Plaxico Bursing yourself.
Oh, I'm telling you. Oh, I got him once really bad on social media. And all of Eagles Nation.
Name dropper.
All of Eagles Nation jumped on him. He was saying, you Eagle fans are salty tonight. It was a Sunday night football game. Eagles losing to the Giants. And Plaxico Burress puts up a tweet and he goes, you Eagles fans are salty tonight. Why don't you like go back to throwing snowballs at Santa or something like that? And I said, how about you stop bringing a loaded gun in and wearing sweatpants to a club and we'll call it even. And all of Eagle Nation jumped him.
You want to talk about a fantasy football name? One of the guys in my league.
Sweatpants in a club?
One of the guys in my leagues was his team name was Plaxidental Shooting.
That's a great one. By the way, you're wearing sweatpants to a club?
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
You're wearing sweatpants.
You got an issue
to
with
a
that?
Club. Yeah.
Some
Yeah, I do.
sweatpants are nice.
Yeah, they
Some
really
guy
are.
goes sweatpants to the strip club.
Oh, because they're Costco sweatpants, they're not okay. But if it was Sean John sweatpants, you'd like them.
Hey, I will be at Costco next weekend. My scheduled Costco trip. I won't go early.
Do you have an
I'll go for
envelope that you take with you?
My scheduled Costco. I will have my little shopping list.
Okay.
And I'll be up in King of Prussia. I'll
See, you
I'll
like
wave
it.
at people.
You like it.
I love going to Costco.
All right. Good.
And the thing is, Christina's not here to tell me what I can buy
This
and what I can't
bachelor
buy.
thing is agreeing with
I
you.
can do whatever I wish when I'm at Costco. Hey, we got a lot coming up for you. If you want to get in and join us on the show, the phone lines are open for you all day today. It's 610-632-0975. I want you to hear a little more of Kobe and Shaq before we get out of here. Plus, I will have my makeover or fixer-upper of your Philadelphia Eagles roster rounding out the show. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I love the fact that I've got my T-Mobile app with me anytime I wish. I've got T-Mobile giving me connectivity anywhere. My T-Mobile device is wonderful. Every single one of my apps on this device, as I'm tapping it here on the YouTube, is something that I need on a daily basis. And I need reliable service. I need T-Mobile to be able to connect me anywhere in the entire country that I'm traveling. And when I go between here and Atlanta, I need to know that I've got the best service. And with T-Mobile and Sprint merging, it's absolutely amazing. And you know, I've never had to come on the radio and say to my listeners, I made the switch to T-Mobile because I was a day one customer. I was literally a day one customer at T-Mobile. And why do I never change? Because the rates are always fantastic. The packages are always great. And I know connectivity is going to be simple with me wherever I am. My T-Mobile device is necessity for me for business. And I love being a T-Mobile customer. And I love telling you about T-Mobile devices and the most fantastic service in the industry. It's time that you made the switch to T-Mobile. Join T-Mobile today. Visit T-Mobile.com to learn more. Coverage may not be available in some areas.
The John Kincade Show.
They're like the family from hell on acid that's on steroids.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Happy Hour and Bob Cooney. On a Tuesday night. Check out Beers with Bob. This and every Tuesday night at 6.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Bob Cooney and Andrew Salchunas go around the world of sports, bringing you updates and breaking news. Plus, all the betting lines you need. It's Beers with Bob on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Stop getting ripped off. Just stop it. Don't let it happen to you. Stop getting ripped off. Stop getting fooled. Hi, I'm Steven Singer, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. Why am I so hated? Because we expose other jewelers that overcharge and underdeliver, and especially other websites. Let's face it, any idiot with a laptop can start a website. Doesn't matter if they lie to you, don't deliver what they promise, they mislead you, or just plain rip you off. Here's what I'm talking about. The only place you can find an authentic, real, long-stem, 24-karat Steven Singer roses is at, well, Steven Singer Jewelers. That's it. We are real jewelers who only have real jewelry, real diamonds, and real 24-karat gold dip roses. Don't fall for copycats. You're just too smart for that. There's only one place that has one price and the world's best guarantees and fast and free shipping. It's at IHateStevenSinger.com. Here is the real deal from a real jeweler. Steven Singer Jewelers is the only jeweler in America that's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, been interviewed on Bloomberg's American Dream, won the Chamber of Commerce Small Business of the Year Award, and more importantly to you, it's the only place you can find authentic, real, long-stem American Beauty roses, lavishly and deeply dipped in pure 24-karat gold, a gift that'll really last forever, just like your love. So go to the most hated jeweler in America to get one of America's most loved gifts. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com. Free shipping, free custom love note from you. Magnificent gift packaging, and it all starts at just $59. Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price.
Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia is headed to the heart of the Stadium District, offering thousands of slots, 120-plus table games, delicious dining such as the Prime Rib, and sports and social at the FanDuel Sportsbook and Lounge, over 200 luxury rooms designed to unwind, and 5-star accommodations. Opening February 11th at 8 p.m. with safety precautions in place. Visit LiveCasinoHotelPhilly.com for more details. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, friend. It's your home speaking, and I need some favors. Could you turn on some of the lights in the basement? I'm scared of the dark. Also, this one is easy. Could you bundle your home and car insurance with Geico so we could save money? Last thing, just a suggestion. Could you steam clean the carpets? I need a spa day.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change to do. We can get you everything you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter for just $26.99. Plus a $5 bonus reward if you're an AutoZone Rewards member. Not a member? We can sign you up fast right here in store or on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hindsight is 2020, and 2020 was a brutal year that for most of it felt out of control. But you know how you can be in control? You can be in control of your job, your career. Yes. In 2020, my computer career helped more people start IT careers than ever. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Take control. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Is the cost of finishing the basement worth the benefit of some peace and quiet? When questions find you, Merrill Edge Self-Directed Investing can help you find answers with personalized planning tools and insights to help you get where you want to go, even if it's just downstairs. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Whether you're a pro on the job site or managing properties, clean and safe is your #1 priority. And Lowe's has the pro-grade cleaning supplies you need. We go beyond the basics, bringing you commercial cleaning from top brands like Clorox, Zep, and Rubbermaid. And in larger sizes, so you can take on any cleaning job knowing you have the quantity you need. Shop Lowe'sForPros.com and have your items delivered or pick up in store. Lowe's, the new home for pros. U.S. only.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracPhone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracPhone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on. This is your wake-up call, people. TracPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracPhone.com.
Happy Hour and Bob Cooney on a Tuesday night. Check out Beers with Bob. This and every Tuesday night at 6.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Bob Cooney and Andrew Salchunas go around the world of sports, bringing you updates and breaking news, plus all the betting lines you need. It's Beers with Bob on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
When the winters are mild, the deals are wild. Gary Barbera knows how to sell a Jeep cheap. $199 down or $199 a month. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Can we wrap this up? I need to get home in time for General Hospital.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
All right, I don't have a lot of time left here on the John Kincade Show on this Bob's Birthday Tuesday, January the 26th. That makes you a Aquarius?
Yeah.
Bob didn't answer that with a lot of confidence. So you do not do the astrology? Yeah, I was out playing basketball. I didn't have time for astrology.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not. No. My wife and I got in an argument. Not an argument. About how old I was the other night, because neither one of us keeps track of how old we are. She's like, "No, you're not. You're going to be such and such," and I'm like, "Oh, wait."
Yes.
And then I had to go year. No, I'm right. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you are right."
It gets
your moon sign is more reflective of your actual personality than your astrology sign.
What does your moon sign mean?
It's basically the height or the rotation in which the moon was at when you were born.
I was a Virgo moon, I know that.
Okay.
Capricorn, Virgo moon.
It's usually very reflective of someone's personality.
How do you know what moon you are?
Because somebody said it
somebody
before.
assigned it to
Addie
you?
did it for me.
No.
She's all into that stuff.
Before. And
Yeah.
I married a Virgo. My brother's a Virgo. My mom's a Virgo. Two of my best friends in life, Virgos. Like a lot of that period of time. I don't know if it matters. Bob's doing that look to you. He's like, you really don't. You've never even looked into that, have you?
You can enter it and it'll tell you.
Somebody told me when I was in my 20s that I was an Aquarius.
I want Yvonne.
I was a mistake.
Okay, I'm going to find. I'm going to see. I don't know that she would do it online. I don't know that she would do it on the line. I want Yvonne, and I'm not going to give Yvonne's last name, but Yvonne is a psychic medium.
Yes.
They call it?
Yes.
Psychic medium.
One of Donna's good friends is a medium.
Okay. Yvonne, I am a complete skeptic of that stuff. Complete skeptic.
I believe in some of it.
Okay?
No, I'm a skeptic.
I met Yvonne, went to a reading, went under an alias, so in Atlanta she would not know my name.
Ron Mexico.
She wasn't able to Google me. It was bought in cash for me. And I went in saying, this is going to be for entertainment purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
I left. We went right over to a place called Taco Mac, which is like a local great watering hole and everything. And I had to have 2 cocktails.
She jarred you.
I was so shook. I was so shaken by what went on. That I was literally shaken.
So you believe now?
Yes.
How many years ago was this?
Probably 4, maybe so. And probably 4 years. And then I sent my wife. I got one for my wife.
Uh-huh. Nailed it?
Totally nailed it. Like crazy.
Wow.
Crazy accurate. That stuff that you would never in a million years, and she couldn't have known it. She knew that there was, she knew that like the people that were trying to talk to me, she's describing them, and she's describing what they're wearing, and she's describing what they look like and what they are saying to me. And it had me so shook up I had to have 2 cocktails in the middle of the day.
You'll one day work with a guy who likes cartoon stuff.
No, it wasn't about that. It was just really weird is that he goes, the first thing, and I'll tell you, the first thing he says, there's a man there. He's either in a military uniform or he's in he's a military or he's maybe a mailman. My dad was a mailman.
Right.
And my dad was in the military. And he is gesturing and he's trying to get me to say to you, oh my gosh, look at your hair. Because the last time he saw you, your hair was jet black.
Wow.
And he was commenting going, I can't believe it. Look at your hair.
And is that something he would have said?
No, my dad died when I was 16.
Okay.
So like he's saying,
wow, look at you.
Like seeing me, look at me, freaked me out. And he was saying to us, and there was stuff that was said in the conversation. He wants to say this. That was incredibly personal, incredibly... She could never have pulled it out of thin air.
Wow.
First of all, she never would have known that my father was dead. How would she know? I mean, she could assume it, guess it, but she could be wrong. You could be really wrong with that. So I want to get Bob a reading. Would you do it? You'd do it, right?
Sure. Yeah, I would.
You would
actually.
do it.
I was skeptical.
I think I'm going to get us all where she can just talk to us all.
Did you ever hear the legend? That's not a legend. It's true of Houdini's wife.
No.
Houdini's wife told him, if I ever pass away, I'm going to give you this code word that I will use in the afterlife. And if you go to these mediums, you'll know if they're telling the truth because I'll use this code word.
Wow.
And she kept going, and she never once heard the code word.
She never once heard the code word. So
it was a
never
private
did
thing
he use
between
the
her and
code
Houdini.
word.
Yep.
The only thing I walked away saying was, and I went in totally a skeptic for entertainment purposes only, was the idea that there's no way, stuff that she said, there was no way she could have known. There was no way she could have known some of this.
Yeah, I had it happen to me, too, on a much lesser count. So my wife's good friend is a medium. She's at the house, and they were talking about it, and I guess I was sitting there putting on this face that I put on that you see so many times. And she's like,
I
Bob,
get it a lot.
Yeah, she's like, Bob, I know you don't believe. She goes, but Tommy just told me to tell you orange juice. Saying it now, the hair on my arms are standing up. So I had a good friend who is kind of not related to these people, but we all knew him. I had a good friend. He's my wife's best friend, brother, who passed away from cancer. Tommy and I played on a rough touch football team together on Sundays. If our games were too early, we would go to the liquor store afterwards because we would hang out and drink beers. But if the games were too early, we had an 8:30 game, we would go and each get a big thing of orange juice and drink it before we got the beer to go back to the field. And all she did was look up at me and said, Tommy just said orange juice.
She had no
And
idea.
my heart
Does
is
she know
pounding right
Tommy?
now. Yeah, she knew Tommy because one of her good friend's brother.
But
We
she
all
wouldn't
knew
have
Tommy.
known about the orange juice thing.
No, God,
See
no.
that? That is crazy.
God, no.
That is
I
crazy.
swear to God, like my heart is pounding right now just talking about it.
I want to switch to Cooney's Corner right now while we've got this emotion going because he asked some very interesting questions about the Philadelphia City head coaches.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
You know, it's funny. We talked about this last week, John, and that Elaine Vigneault is now the most tenured coach in Philadelphia of the four major sports.
And we've got a great stable of head coaches right now. Of the three, we don't know about Nick Sirianni.
Nick
Sirianni.
Frank Sirianni? I love that guy.
Frank Sirianni. So I put this question out there to you guys, and I'm looking for an answer from you. Which of the four coaches would you like to be right now? Who has the most envious of the coaching jobs here in the four major sports of Philadelphia?
Doc.
Unquestionably?
Because Doc's already got the ring. So he's already behind the velvet rope in his profession. So, and he has the ingredients to potentially make a championship salad.
And that could be why it's not the best. There's the most expectations laid upon him, right?
Okay.
Of the four, I think the most expectations are on Doc Rivers. And if he fails to live up to it, then it's the worst job. So that's all of these things factored in.
Did you have an answer, or did you just throw this question
Hell
out
no,
there
I just
to
like throwing
baffle
it to you
people?
guys. That would have required more thinking. I come up with the questions, Sean. That was my old job. I just look for the answers.
All right, James.
It's either Vigneault or Rivers. Because Nick Sirianni's got his work cut out
Yes,
for him.
he does.
He's probably got the worst job of the four. Joe Girardi, we'll see what this team is in a couple weeks. We're, 3 weeks away from pitchers and catchers, and we still have no idea what this team is. We don't have a starting shortstop, no center fielder, no catcher. So that's it.
Catcher falling off.
A what shortstop?
An unknown?
A starting shortstop.
Yeah. We don't even have it. We have Bryson Stott.
Did you catch what he said?
I did.
Hey, well, Phil Gosselin. Let's not forget the pride of Westchester.
So I would say probably, but I think Vigneault has the easiest.
Wow.
I think Doc has a really tough job ahead of him.
Well, Elaine Vigneault has the least pressure on him.
This isn't even a question. You go AV because he is closest to winning a championship. Doc.
Is he?
I think he is. Doc has a lot of expectations, and I don't think they're good enough.
Flyer fans.
This is not even close, and then you come up with they're the closest to winning a championship.
How are they not in the city? How are they not closest to winning
Flyer
a championship?
fans have such a vision of their team. That
Well,
team,
no, but who's
the team-
closer?
He's not a-
the Flyers, the team that we've seen this year. They're the closest to a title.
Who's closer in the city?
I think the Sixers are as close, if not
But
closer.
are the Sixers better than Brooklyn? Are they better than the Lakers? Are they better
I think
than?
they could be.
They might be.
That with the Flyers.
They might be.
too,
We don't know
couldn't
yet. But the Flyers, I just know is.
See, because I look at the Sixers and I go, they're good. They're like the OKC Thunder when they were getting to the conference championship, but you knew they weren't a legitimate contender. So that's why I'm saying it, and I think that the Flyers can go on a run. But and I'm I have Sixers season tickets, but I just don't think they're there.
I don't think the Flyers have that.
And I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're all wrong
there's no
too.
right
I
or
hope
wrong
we're talking about
answer.
championship. I love how Bob stirs the pot and throws this out there like a grenade.
Yeah, and then, I
and
just
then
sit
backs
back and
off.
watch you guys
Answer
all
it,
flow.
coward.
I would say the best job to have of the four might be, 39 years old, and you're taking over a football team. That's pretty cool. You're going to have some rope.
With low expectations.
Yeah.
Right now.
And you get to rebuild. You get to put your name on it. If you don't succeed, hey, I've been a head coach in the league. I'm going to be around for a long, long time. That's not bad.
I'll tell you, signing that annuity, that long-term annuity and knowing your future is, he's going to pick up that pen and realize my grandchildren's lives are set.
Yeah.
My life's set forever. Fail or succeed. My life is set forever. Give me the pen.
Yeah.
Sign it, done. Sign it, done.
But all
Deshaun
four
Watson.
coaches can say that.
No, NHL coaches don't make that kind of money. Generational changing money. They're not getting paid what NFL coaches make. I mean, Doug, what did Doug take away from the Eagles? Did Doug make $27 million?
Elaine Vigneault signed a $25 million deal.
Oh, my gosh. I did not realize
Things
it was
have changed.
5 years,
5 year 25.
Wow.
Yeah, they all make good coin.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Your boy Mike Keeney needs to get back in the
Oh my
coaching
God, he should
circles.
get back. Hey, Martin Law brings it to you. The law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com.
Yeah, he makes more than Girardi.
That's crazy.
Does he really? That's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
I just
I guess.
Wow. More FU money, by the way, available to top of the hour with Anthony Gargano. You get your chance to win $500. Be sure to be listening to Fanatic today at 10, at noon, at 2, at 4, at 6. Get it? Every couple hours, we give you a chance to win some FU money here on The Fanatic. I wanted you to hear one last thing from the Kobe and Shaq interview I conducted in 2015. And I thought I'm trying to look at all the different things that I could share with you, and this one to me was very telling. And I literally put it to both of them. Is there something that each of you would like to take back that you did in your relationship? Is there anything that, Shaq, you would like to take back in the give and take over the years?
I mean, like you just played the clip where I said I wanted to be traded. I definitely did not want to leave LA. So, but that's how you got to talk when you're in business. Especially when you think you're in control. Definitely didn't want to leave LA. A lot of stuff was said out of the heat of the moment. I guarantee I don't remember a lot of stuff that they said because I changed my thought process of, you know what, we won 3 out of 4. What the hell are y'all talking about? This is not even really a story.
Anything you want to take back, Kobe?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. When you say them at the time, you actually mean it. And then when you get older, you have more perspective, and you're like, holy shit, I was an idiot as a kid. You know what I mean? So for me, the most important thing was really just keep your mouth shut, right? You don't need to go to the press with stuff. We keep it internal, and we have our arguments and our disagreements. But I think having our debates within the press was something I wish would have been avoided. But it did kind of create this whirlwind around us as a team with myself and Shaq and the press and the media that just put so much pressure on us as an organization.
Kobe had such self-awareness, and I know Shaquille, to be a man of, he's greatly self-aware. He can easily point out where he screws up. There's another part of the interview where I asked them the blame, and do you share the blame in your relationship being poor? And Shaq says 70% of the blame is mine.
Wow.
He took 70% of the blame. And guess what? Kobe didn't disagree with him. Kobe didn't disagree with him. Kobe owned what he... But that Kobe sometimes went sort of back channel, was like, whisper down the lane stuff and everything, that he ran to Jim Gray or whoever the guys were. They each had their own little, media mouthpieces. But the idea, there was very much self-awareness there, and I agree with Kobe Bryant 100%.
Yes.
What you say in anger is what you mean. I believe that. I always hear people say, I didn't mean it. I was upset. I didn't mean to call you this or to bring up something from 5 years ago or to call you out for it. I believe when someone speaks out of anger, that is the truth speaking. That's the not measured part of your DNA. That's where you just let it rip. You let it say what's on your mind. And I always laugh when I hear people go, I didn't really mean that. I just said it out of anger. I agree with Kobe Bryant. When you speak, I think that's when you speak the truth.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Even the stuff that I'm so glad that you brought up this interview that you conducted, John, because it really does give us even more light into Kobe's life after death or whatever. Not everybody didn't hear this whole interview with you before. I had heard snippets, and just knowing my experiences with Kobe through the years, I am so enamored with him as a person, even more now that he's gone, of what he did while he was alive and the way he looked at things, and hearing different comments and seeing different things on social media of him. Like, it's amazing to me. And like the most down-to-earth story I can tell you is the Lakers are here one time and they have shoot around in the morning, and they get on the bus to go, and it was D. Lynam and I are standing there with our palms out, and the PR guy comes running off the bus, says, hey, guy, what's wrong? We're like, well, we didn't get to talk to Kobe. And he's like, they're already on the bus and stuff like that. Maybe you can get them tonight before the game. Okay, no problem. Turn around, start to walk away. Yo! Turn around, there's Kobe running off the bus. I am so sorry. I forgot what city I was in for a second. My fault. And just got off and like told the bus, go, I'll get a ride, don't worry about it. And sat there and talked with us for like 15 minutes. Like, superstars, people just think they wouldn't do that. He did. Like, he did. He knew where he was. He knew what it was all about. And his last game that he played here, that was an event of like maybe none other that I covered while I was on the beat.
He said it's the impact that it has. The weird thing is that, and Bob, I'll send you the whole interview, and I'm going to try to get permission, legal permission, to let us post the entire interview so you can listen to it in its entirety.
Nice.
Between Shaq and Kobe. The one thing is the last question that I asked Kobe, and it just gets you, as a dad, it gets you a little. The last question I ask in the interview is, so old man, I like joke with him. I say, hey, old man, you're going into your last season in the NBA. Like, what are you excited about? Like, what's your future about? And he talks all about all of his future dreams and all of his future things that he has. And when you hear him say it, it really moves you. Like, you just get, because you don't know. You don't know. He had such dreams, such ambitions, so many things that he had great passion for. That dribbling the basketball didn't need to be it. He had another avenue to take.
Yeah, I read something yesterday about Zach Randolph, the former NBA, I guess borderline great. And he said, I hated Kobe Bryant on the court, but Zach's daughter ended up playing in the Mamba Academy and for Kobe's team. And he said the admiration and respect I gained for that man watching him coach those girls and drive them to be great like he wanted to be driven, I had a whole new level of admiration for him. And that's really cool.
Bob, we have a whole level of admiration for you, too. And we did not forget.
Oh, my God.
We did not forget your birthday.
Hey,
we did not forget your cake.
We got you a real
and
cake.
We have a real cake. A real happy birthday,
Spelled
Bob
my name
cake.
backwards.
And there is a real happy birthday, Bob cake.
Oh, thank you
We did
very
not
much.
let Preston and Steve upstage us. You got a cake with no bites taken out of it yet.
I love it.
With the buttercream icing and everything like that. And we'll get you a knife, and we'll let you make the cake. We weren't going to forget your birthday.
Beers with Bob starts now.
Yes. How about cake with Bob?
Yeah, nothing
Cake
wrong
with
with
Bob
that.
can start now.
Thank you, boys. Much
Do you
appreciated.
have a wish on your birthday?
Yeah, for this pandemic to get done and for all of us just to return to some sort of normalcy. And a little side note, I wouldn't mind a house.
There you go, too.
Thanks, boys.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
The first birthday in the history of the show.
Yes,
So
how
there
about
you
that?
go.
Yes.
First birthday in the
Hopefully
history.
What
not
kind of
the
cake we work with? I can't
Hopefully
see.
not the last. Buttercream,
Ooh.
vanilla with the rich buttercream icing.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, buttercream icing? That is the Bob. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Pick up the cake. There's Jamie. This will get you excited and aroused. It's a heavy cake.
It is.
It's a heavy cake.
Good girth to it.
That's going to be like a lunch cake.
Yeah.
That is, and a
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner
a
cake.
post-game meeting cake. And Bob's going to take the picture. It's happy birthday, Bob. Here on the John Kincade Show. He smiled. He smiled.
He's warm and loving.
No, I'm not warm, apparently, but I'm working on it.
That cake's still a little chilly because we had it chilled for you. So it is doing all there. Interesting today that the conversations that we've had today, really sort of interesting in all the different directions we've gone. The one thing that I am very surprised at is I always believed that the city I grew up in was one that was going to always take the side of be against the athlete going out there and demanding the big money and cutting out on a contract and things like that. There are things that I'm taking note of that I believe have changed. Today's discussion on the Deshaun Watson contract raised some eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you hate Jamie.
It did. It raised some eyebrows to me that maybe perceptions I have about my own hometown have changed while I've been gone.
We're evolved, John. We're New Philadelphia.
Because Philadelphia never, ever was for, yeah, player, go get yours. Go get the most money. Go get the most money you can get. That was never this town.
Yeah.
And now, Deshaun Watson, and all I say to you all, and in closing today, all I say to everybody is what that emailer said earlier today to everybody who's saying earlier on the show, go get yours, Deshaun Watson. You have every right, blah, blah, blah. The damage he lays to the Houston Texans franchise be damned. You better not have a problem if Carson Wentz decides to do it to your franchise.
I don't want a player that doesn't want to be here.
Well, then it's going to be because right now, I'll leave it with this. Brian's tweet earlier today to me, he said the Carson Wentz wreckage from his contract, if he demands to be traded or makes it that he needs to be moved, is something that will take at least a full season to dig out of just that. And this is a franchise that's already in salary cap hell. They will be in the worst salary cap situation in the NFL. Well, plenty more tomorrow. Bob has got his Wednesday conversation tomorrow as we get ready for the Lakers and the Sixers. You don't want to miss it. It's the first Wednesday conversation because we'll have Tuesday conversations, Friday conversations, and more. For Pat Egan, for the coach, Eric Camille, for the fantastic Jamie Lynch, and for the birthday boy, Bob Cooney. Happy birthday, Bob. We'll be back tomorrow on the John Kincade Show.
The John Kincade Show.
Sir, one more outburst, I will strangle you with my microphone wire. You understand me?
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.